Leche. Leche. Leche.
Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Pat Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nuss Flush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can Smoking Mirrors. Director 97 home. That is a great. Here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian. Billy Friedrich. Jones one all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
From the call of Peter Loshak, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a Dom. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, when we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio, bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing, betting with the bag and you love it. We want a top 10, we above it. Leche.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. He's Jimmy the Bag. I'm Peter Loshak. Every Tuesday we do this. Nice time of year, Jimmy the Bag. I'm actually enjoying soccer quite a bit. Doing that quite a bit. We got WNBA. We got NHL. Wow, Edmonton got smoked in their last game, didn't they, Jim?
They did. It reminded me of the 8-1 win last year over Florida, the 5-1 win over Florida.
So I think regardless of what happens in Game 4, we slam Edmonton Game 5, right?
Look, everybody in the chat thinks the series is over. Everybody in the chat said it after the Kings were up 2-0.
Yeah.
I would rather lose, backing Edmonton. I'd rather lose 6-1 than 4-3 in overtime.
Sure.
So,
sure. I'm not really thinking about the
series.
series. I'm thinking about how we respond next game.
Well,
Game 4 is tough.
I'll tell you this right now. If you can bet the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, we'll go. If you can bet the books are afraid to drop CFL lines.
Yeah. We
destroyed them week 1. I have some friends and colleagues that made massive bets on my action and crushed. I have friends who made so much money on the Alouettes that they got kicked out of books. God damn. They're afraid to put out lines. Yeah. So they just put out the Bombers line. It's ridiculous.
Okay, I'll bet it.
It's absolutely ludicrous. Bombers plus 120 and plus 2.5. Okay, wow. It's moved 5 cents.
Okay, well, why don't we make this some sort of private
the Lions? Wow, and the money lines moved 5 cents more towards Lions. It's absolutely ludicrous. The Ticats, I thought they were going to open it up at 4.5. They opened it up at 3.5. It should still be bet.
So you're talking about Winnipeg, Jim?
Winnipeg should be bet immediately.
All right, I'm going to get limited for this, but to win straight up.
To win, I bet both. I put a unit on the money line and a unit on the 2.5. And then this Hamilton Rough Riders line just came out in the last 15 minutes. All of this stuff should be abused. Everybody's overreacting. Like I was heavy on the Stamps in week 1. They win. This line just came out with the Stamps plus 3. It's ludicrous. It's such an overreaction to the Argos losing in Montreal. It's such an overreaction. It's ludicrous. The Ticats plus 3.5. It should be bet immediately because that was 4.5. So I need to bet this right now. Sorry. Go
ahead.
I've been checking every hour for these lines to come out.
Sure. No, do it now. Wait, so you're saying take Toronto?
Well, I want to wait. No, because this line's moving towards the Bombers. This opened up at 3.5. Sorry, moving towards the Stamps. This line opened up at 3.5, and it's now at 3. Which is heaven. So I think maybe we should see if this is a flat 3 by the end of the show and then take the Argos. They claimed, I saw a couple sites. My book was the first site to put out CFL action. They had the 4.5. And I saw on CFL's site that they had it listed, the Ticats Rough Riders at 4.5. That's absolutely lunacy. Just a total overreaction from week 1. Now it's at 3.5. It's already moved a full point, Pete. I might wait on the Stamps and the Ticats. But the Bombers, bet the Bombers right now. It's just ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Okay. Gorky, don't overreact. I know you can say the Stamps are beating Toronto. Again, don't... It's a big mistake to overreact from what you saw in week 1. The Argos are much better. We were all on. Sorry, the Stamps are much better than they were last year. We all bet them in week 1. But for you, Gorky, to go back here immediately is what I believe is a real overreaction. It will cost you money. So if you have to do it, you can. But please only bet a little bit. Only bet a little bit because you're going to lose money. Overreacting week 1. We always talk about week 2 being the easiest week of the year in the NFL. It's the same in the CFL. There's overreactions. So, Gorky, if you must bet the Stamps, I hope you cashed on them in week 1 and you're not doing it out of anger because you watched them win and we're on the Ticats. I know a lot of people were on the Ticats. But however you want to handle it is fine. Remember, Gorky, don't believe what you see as much as possible. In life and in sports. All right. So I just want to get that through. I'm not going to bet the Ticats right now. That's already moved a point, Pete.
Yeah.
I guess if somebody could tell me if it's starting to get juiced, then maybe if anything, I mean, it might. I'm surprised. And then if if this line keeps moving, we're in absolute business. Absolute business. Absolute business.
What since for week 1 you went 6-2, Jim?
6-2. Yeah, Gorky, see, you were a Ticats backer. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But again, I can explain psychologically exactly why you watched your bet lose. You saw how good the Stampeders are, so you bet them again in week 2.
Yeah, Jim, I forgot that CFL was starting. I was like, oh shit, CFL. So I went to check your thing, and I saw 4-0 the first bunch of picks. So I was like, all right, I'm going to slam the next 4. And I was like, I know these are going to go 2-2, and I'm going to lose the juice. Tailing Jim. But that's all right, Jim. That was my fault. That was my fault.
Man, it was
that's my fault.
No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault.
No, it's my fault.
Okay, I'm going to wait on these because it's already the Ticats game's already moved a point, and the Argos line's moving towards the Stampeders because of what everybody saw last week. So I'm going to hold off there. And then I'm telling you guys to bet the Bombers, and this line just moved against us, which is bananas to me. Absolute.
What do you mean it moved against? What's it, 3 now?
Sorry?
What is the Bombers line now?
Well, no, it's just now you can get. Well, you can't pay for alt line. You can't get any alt lines. You can't get first half lines, right? It's just the full game. So they've now moved the Bombers to +2.5 -105, and the money line from +120 to +125.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll keep an eye on that. If you guys can help us keep an eye on that, I'm not going to bother with the Ticats and the Argos right now. I'll let that go. Sorry. So we'll go back into the NHL. Look, it was a disturbing game last night. It was a disturbing game. Panthers looked bigger and badder, and then we had Reinhart wake up, Barkov to some extent. Kachuk still not really, but he looked a little bit more dangerous. Mikkola looks huge. Panthers look big and tough. So I get it. I get it if you guys, are all heavy on the Panthers now from what you've seen, but
I think regardless of what happens in game 4, if Edmonton goes down in game 5 early, which is entirely possible because that's kind of how they play, that's the bet right there. Edmonton live would be awesome if they went down by 2 and you could get like a +2.5, but even just a money line on a big dog line.
Edmonton is very live still. Very live in game 4, live in game 5. I know that the people who are on the Panthers have a ton of confidence and have even more confidence, and God bless you guys. We don't need to get into it too heavy right now. I mean, the line is extremely telling. It's the Panthers are not a big favorite in game 4. They're going to open up their arms to Panthers money. Panthers are going to take 90% of the tickets in cash. So, and again, I'd rather lose 6-1 than 4-3 in overtime. So we'll see. We'll see. This is not nearly the biggest hole that the Oilers have had to climb out of in their last couple playoffs. So we'll see how it all bangs out. Stacks play today: Encarnacion Strand and Cal Raleigh RBI. And then we have Pig Milk play today: Starling Marte over 1.5 total bases. Billy Friedrich also on Chanouel over 1.5 total bases. Let's get this all copied and pasted. Sam Bennett to win the Conn Smythe 120-1 is unbelievable. Billy, can you imagine that Brad Treliving traded a second-round pick? Well, basically 2 second-round picks. That's what he got for Sam Bennett, and he still gets to have a job. Not only a job, but arguably the best job in hockey. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What an ass clown for not understanding what he had. Get this all copied and pasted. That Sam Bennett is absolutely beautiful. Let's get this here. Okay, let's get this rolling here. Pete. But yes, I'm ready. I can't wait to attack CFL all year long. It's going to be glorious. There's Spooner in the house. Irish King. Cash Florida -1.5. Florida SGP. Great job, Irish King. Then we have Dougie Wise, Ronnie Lofton. It says Panthers are straight punking the Oilers. Look, it was one game 6-1. Nobody said the Oilers are straight punking the Panthers when they outscored them 13-2 in 2 games in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals last year. Dougie Wise would argue this series should be 3-0. Anyone could argue this series could be 2-1 Oilers. It's all good. It's all good. We don't have to. We don't have to agree. It's all good. You guys can believe this as much as you want. Billy Fear says, I doubt Oilers bounce back. Panthers have the championship pedigree. Billy, the Panthers were up 3-0 and almost lost the Stanley Cup to the Oilers. What? That was with the half-broken Draisaitl. I mean, I guess you could say, no, what I'm doing is I'm not believing what I saw. Like you said, Jimmy. If that's it, then that's fine. That's fine. All right. Okay. Here we go. Let me see here. Here we go. Anything else here? Guillermo Zertucci in the house.
Shout out Guillermo Zertucci.
Spooner says, can get the Argos -3, -110. I think that we should wait until it ends. Spooner says +2.5 on the Bombers or pay for the 3. I can't use alt lines yet because these lines just came out. Can you? If you can take the 3 if you want. You can take the 3 if you want. So here we go. Joe Yurkovich says the value on KC +1.5 at +105. Here we go. Let's copy and paste that. Get this all copied and pasted. Timmy Tushu says Skinner usually shuts him out after a debacle. I don't know if they even go with Skinner, honestly. We'll see. We'll see. Collins Clip says Edmonton will clean up the penalties. Look, it was an absolute everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. It was just one after another. I guess Jose is telling us to get into baseball right now by putting the action here. But look, the Marchand goal. I don't know what Skinner was doing, but that was a lucky bounce. Marchand has been getting a lot of lucky bounces, and he's a great hockey player, and puts himself in the right spots to receive lucky bounces. Skinner shooting the puck over the boards. Look, the Panthers beat up and embarrassed the Oilers last night. In sports gambling, that is an opportunity to make a lot of money in the next game. Dougie Wise giving us a bonus play of the Cubs -103. Let's go here. Get this up. Here we go. All right. Okay. Big Show picks in the house. Looks like everybody ready to rock here. Okay. So thank you guys for joining us. And let's attack the board here. Kong's Clip says that was a 35-point type loss in NBA type bet. Look, these things happen. And there's Nate Dogg 420 saying Edmonton money line next game. All right. So says there will be good fights in the first period. This will be a great nectar 4 games. What a series like old time hockey. I don't think there'll be nearly as many fights. The Panthers won every single battle, physical, mental. They won it all, and you can't be. You just can't let them do that. Kane's got to keep his shit together. Corey Perry's got to keep his shit together. They got to play hockey and focus on the hockey. All of the penalties were ridiculous. 10 power plays. It was an absolutely ludicrous game. Absolutely ludicrous game. So, okay, let's get to work, Pete, in Major League Baseball. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It was tough to watch last night. And, I've took a lot of heat online, and that's okay. It's part of what we do. But took a lot of heat, and I'm still a little flustered. I'm a little flustered over how big and bad the Panthers looked yesterday. So I'm a little flustered. Again, you guys know I didn't hedge. If it wasn't for that Kings bet when they were down 2-0, I'd be very, very, very upset that I left all this cash on the table, not hedging. But I'm comfortable with this. It's part of a series, a 7-game series. So, and those of you on the Panthers, if you were even more confident, I get it. You have every right to be. But this series is far from over. That's all. Far from over. Peter, you ready to get into Major League Baseball? Is there anything else in the sporting landscape that you want to talk about?
No, not particularly. No.
Well, let's get to work here. Let me just. I've heard that my man Spooner sent the ballpark pal. Thank you. Let me get a swish up here, and let's get to work. Here we go. Pull up this and let's roll here. Okay. Sorry, one thing I'm waiting for, and we can go. Okay. Detroit Tigers, 43-24, 20-15 on the road at the Baltimore Orioles, 26-38, 12-17 at home. We're in Camden Yards. I love Baltimore so much and miss it, man. Charm City, Baltimore, Maryland. Let's get into the weather here to get started in Baltimore. 86 Fahrenheit, feels like 85, 6.3 miles per hour to right field. It dies down to 2.7 miles per hour. Ballpark Pal has Oriole Park plus 12% homers, plus 6% doubles and triples, and plus 7% singles, plus 11%. This is tied for the second most offensive park here in the league. It's funny then. So that means that. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, sorry, I'm just watching the CFL lines come in. All right, so here we go. We have an opener in Brant Herter, lefty, and then we have Sawyer Gibson Long as the primary. We have Justin McKelvey Orioles in my head. Orioles over 4.5 team total here. Let's get into the line history and the cash flow. Peter, let me just move this over from CFL to MLB. And here we go. We have Mr. Povich, who's been horrific at home, absolutely horrible at home, minus 124. Open up at minus 114, 10 cents of movement towards Cade Povich, which is strange. Very, very strange. There was so many line moves today that I would sit and stare at trying to figure out, and that or opening the lines that made no sense to me whatsoever. This over opened up at 9 at minus 111. There's been a 2-cent move to minus 113. And then when we get to the cash flow for our first game on the board, I guess because of the pitching change or what have you, there's no information on the total. We do know that 50% of the tickets are on Detroit, 55% of the cash is on the Orioles. Brant Herter's been excellent all year. I mean, he's not going to be in there for more than 2 innings, but he's been absolutely excellent. 2-1, 1.62 ERA, 0.96 WHIP. Being great. 31 strikeouts, 9 walks. Very, very solid. 6'6" lefty opener. And then we have Sawyer Gibson Long. We've only seen him in the one start, 5-4 win at the White Sox. He was okay, 3 2/3, 3 earned runs. Cade Povich coming off a really nice start at the Mariners. But at home, Pete, he's allowed 22 earned runs in 27 1/3. He's allowed 8 home runs in 27 1/3. And opponents are hitting 291 against him. As a lefty, he's handling lefties. It's the righties that are hitting him, 297, 833 OPS. That's what righties are doing to him. So let's take a look at the expected righties. In this lineup, Torres, Torkelson, you'd think Wandy hits from the right side, Baez, Jahmai Jones, Jake Rogers. It's not the most dangerous group of righties that I've ever seen. Tigers versus lefties, they're not hitting them with power right now, 255, 700. Orioles are doing something similar, 256, 718. The Tigers bullpen has started to struggle, a 4.28 ERA over the last 30 days, and we have the Orioles bullpen 5.74 ERA. Take it away for us here, Mr. Loshak. We have the Tigers, Orioles. What's your plan?
All right. Well, there were 3 games that didn't have strong overnight information, and those 3 games I am only semi-prepared for. But I did take Herter to get 2 strikeouts, minus 170. I'll make that official right now. You're right. He's good. Baltimore's Baltimore. I think he will go 2 innings. If he only goes 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, it's still in the cards. Herter over 1.5 strikeouts, minus 170. Make that official. A lot of places don't have it, but a lot of places do, and I'll make that official.
All right. Sorry, can you hit me with that again? Herter over 2?
And 1.5 strikeouts, minus 170.
All right. You are in.
And I'll probably wind up, or at least looking hard at some Detroit batter props, but can't really say anything for right now.
Talk to me about your expectation of this kid, Sawyer Gibson Long here, who we expect to get the bulk. I know he's a highly thought of pitcher. He was 6th round pick in the 2019 draft out of Mercer, 27 years of age. This year has seen him have a start in A, high A, and then AAA Toledo. The 2 starts AAA Toledo were just 9 1/3. There's not much of a sample size to go with. If you go back to 2024, he spent the whole year in Lakeland.
Yeah.
Lakeland, he's 4.1 years older than the average age. That's not high. That's A.
Yeah, very uncertain. Well, I have no hard expectations of him right now.
No, that's my bad. He was injured all year. He was hurt all year. My bad. I'm tripping. I wasn't. Yes, that's the only place he pitched in 2024, but that's because he was coming off with Tommy. So it's just 2023 that we have the bulk of statistics for. I mean, Cade Povich got to be live here, doesn't he?
I'm going to look into it deeper. I definitely hit the Herder prop, and that's what I got for now.
I'm in this market, but TC's play today is the Tigers money line. I mean, looking at just a line, the Orioles are 12-17 at home. I know they're playing better baseball. The Tigers are 19 games over 500, 5 games over 500 on the road, and they're a dog here. I mean, this is one-way traffic for me. It's Orioles or nothing. But I will pop TC's play of the day here in the chat. Ronnie Lofton, first 3 over 3.5 and plus 135, says, I see both pitchers getting touched early, so I'll take a shot at good plus money.
Oh, really? So
Brett,
Lofton, he doesn't like the Herder. Well, maybe, just because someone gets touched doesn't necessarily mean that.
But, Ron, I mean, God, you think Brant Herder's going to get touched here by the Orioles who struggle against lefties? Let's just go here. Brant Herder has looked so good. Let me just give me a second here with let's go Brant Herder game log. Brant Herder is not allowed to run in his last. He's not allowed an earned run in his last 7 appearances. I mean, he's been amazing. 7, 8, 9. He's allowed 1 earned run in his last 9 appearances, over 16 in the third innings. Not sure. Okay. I mean, I would like to fade. I think as soon as maybe Sawyer Gibson Long comes in. All right. I guess we don't need to sit here and hem and haw, but I'm certainly interested in the Orioles. But I guess I would think that, Ron, don't you feel like we need to wait until Brant Herder is out before we expect the runs, unless you're going to get them all from the Tigers against Cade Povich? And if that's the case, then wouldn't it be, wouldn't you want to just take the Tigers first 3? Okay.
I'm also going to add Gleyber Torres to 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs.
Okay, so we have over 1.5 Ks for Pete, and then Gleyber Torres over 1.5.
Yeah, I'm going to shop around and get the best lines and let you know what I find.
RBIs. Okay, let's roll on. Next up for us, 6:40 p.m. Eastern, the Cincinnati Reds, 34-33, 16-17 on the road. The Cleveland Guardians, 34-31, 18-14 at home. We're at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's take a look at the weather here for this one. We have in Cleveland, we have 74 Fahrenheit. Feels like 78.9 miles per hour left to right, slightly in, and then goes completely left to right. And then after 2 hours, it's very, very slightly out. We have a ballpark pal giving a Progressive Field here, plus 9%, plus 7% homers, plus 4% doubles and triples, and plus 5% singles. This line was absolutely nuts to me, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me very uncomfortable. Makes me want to, not move on it. Now, look, Slade Ciccone has not been good in Major League Baseball. I get it. But, I mean, they traded Josh Naylor for him with 37 home runs last year. This guy is a highly thought of prospect. It's not like he's some bum who was DFA'd. And the market is treating him as such. And maybe that is a mistake. This total is 8.5. It's juiced to the under. It opened up at 8. I was immediately looking at the first 3, but I can't if it goes from 8 to 8.5. And then on the money line, you have the Guardians, minus 107. Sure, they open at minus 111. But the line opener makes no sense whatsoever. Coin says Cleveland facing a left-handed pitcher for a 3rd straight game. Guardians versus lefties, 221 with a 575 OPS the last 30 days. I mean, just horrific. And then a shout out to our guy, Nut Flush Allen. Caden now 18, and he opened up an underdog account. Shout out to our guy, Caden, 18 now. Jerry Davis says Cincy money line. Again, this to me is like the Orioles Tigers game, where this is just Guardians or no bet. Spooner, says very suspicious price. Cleveland can't hit lefties. His total with that price tells me Abbott gets touched. But that's the same thing we had in the last start with Andrew Abbott, and I was afraid to do anything about it. We had Andrew Abbott. The market told us that he was going to get touched, and then he went and got touched for 5 earned runs over 6 innings. Stacks play of the day number 1 is right here. It's Encarnacion Strand, RBI for our guy Stacks. We are on the board for Stacks. Play of the day number 1 is in.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
Andrew Abbott's allowed 5 earned runs in 22 innings on the road. He's shutting down lefties. He's shutting down righties. He's being incredible. Eldorado says, Cincy pitching record, Cleveland inept offense, like a under full game. Yeah, I get it, but this line is moved from 8 to 8.5, which is very uncomforting. Slade Ciccone is getting hit by lefties and righties. Lefties 289, 947, righties 256, 845. He is coming off a good start. 2 earned runs he allowed in 5 innings in a 4-0 loss at the Yankees. That's when he went up against Max Fried. He's only had 1 home start in this entire season. He's only had 4 starts this year. And the Guardians bullpen slightly better than the Reds bullpen. Quick look at the cash flow, because I think that will be very telling in the situation. In this situation, we have 70% of the tickets on the Reds and 91% of the cash. This is nuts. Jermaine, I mean, everywhere I've looked, it says it opened at 8 and moved to 8.5. But I will check a couple other books for you, just because that is a very, very important information. I know the offshore that I use for our line shopping opened it up at 8. And the site that we played poker at opened it up very early, 8.5, but it was plus 105 to the over, minus 125. This was never a 9.5. Take it away for us, Peter. This market is nuts. Take it away.
Yeah, and I didn't understand the maybe I made a mistake, but then again, remember last week it was what was it? There were like 3 or 4 bets that were like maybe I don't know something, but they all wound up cashing. The most egregious was Rodon earned runs. Remember that? Under 2.5. We were like, maybe someone knows something. So I didn't make it an official play. And of course it cashed easily. And so, I'm not saying that when you think someone might know something, that they don't sometimes know something, but the Abbott stuff, I mean, the strikeout prop was very low, 4.5, and I hit that one over, and that one has moved against me. What else did I hit? Yeah, the Abbott earned runs prop, 2.5. I didn't understand that one. That one I hit, and that one has moved in my favor. I got 130. Now it's 160. But yeah, I didn't understand what was going on with the market as you were talking about. I hit the Abbott over 4.5 strikeouts, which has moved a few cents against me. I hit the earned runs under, which has moved significantly in my favor, which is nice to see. And I even hit the 16.5 outs at minus 110. And now that's gone up. All right. So I agree with you, Jim. I hit all those. Strikeout prop moved against me. Outs and earned runs moved in my favor.
When Andrew Abbott started his last game, last Wednesday.
Hold on one second.
No problem. When Andrew Abbott made his start last Wednesday, it was against DL Hall. We weren't sure how many innings DL Hall was going to go. Andrew Abbott had not allowed a run in how long? Sorry, let me go back to it. He had allowed 1 earned run over his last 3 starts. He'd allowed 2 earned runs over his last 4 starts. And the line for Andrew Abbott opened up. This is Andrew Abbott at home, opened up at minus 118 and immediately moved to minus 109. Every single one of you guys are thinking that you are getting an incredible offer. I mean, Spooner isn't, but everybody else is thinking you're getting this gift. Look, you guys track your action. You guys track it so you know if you're succeeding or not. And if you're succeeding doing this, then hammer Abbott and the Reds. But this is absolutely nuts. And this was the same situation we had 6 days ago. And 6 days ago, the Brewers beat them 9-1. So again, like I need to sit with this for longer because I couldn't comprehend what I was looking at. And so this is Guardians or nothing for me. And again, I need to see if I have enough conviction to move on the Guardians. So
All right, I'm back. Jim, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, what are people saying about this game?
They're all on the Reds. Everybody's on the Reds. I think it's a wonderful opportunity, I guess.
Got distracted for a sec. Yeah, I got to decide whether. I mean, last week I didn't take the Rodon props. In fact, I think like all of it. Actually, no. I think all of them hit except for the hits prop, which lost by 1, which is the one that I gave officially. I don't even remember, but it was like, it was. He definitely had a start that. Unless the market or someone knows that Abbott is not likely to bounce back for injury or analytics related reasons. It is the first bad start he's had all year, except for the Coors start, which you can give him a pass on, I think. Right?
Yeah, it's not that he had a bad start. It's that the books told us he was going to have a bad start, and then he did. And the books are saying something extremely similar here. But we can move past it. I'll decide if I have the conviction or what I want to do about back in the Guardians. But I mean, I've said my piece. We can move on. Pete, is there anything you're making official here?
They're saying he's going to have. All right, I'll just make one play. Over 17.5 outs now, plus 100. I'll shop around to see if I can get a better line, but I'll just make one play on Abbott. The earned runs prop is very tempting, but you're right. I guess I won't go nuts here. And then Ciccone, there's a bunch of player props that I want to think about, guys to get hits and to be productive in this game for Cincinnati. Before I was rudely interrupted, I guess I will just look at that while we're looking at the other games, I guess.
Yeah,
but definitely over 17.5 outs. I'll take one shot with it.
You got it. All right, and good luck to all you guys moving on this one here. All right, let's roll on. Pete, a lot of talk about your landline. Mm-hmm. I respect it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with it. I respect it. Rotary landline. It's just you and Gokster. You're the last ones left.
There's others.
Oh, is there?
Yes.
All right. Miami Marlins, Pittsburgh Pirates. We're at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sandy Alcantara going up against Mitch Keller. Alcantara, Keller here. Sorry, I'm back to the line moves from a week ago. This line I found extremely these lines are just nuts. But this line is moving towards Pittsburgh now. It took a little bit of time for that to happen, but it's moving now. Open up minus 126. 8 hours later, it had moved 3 cents. But now we're up to minus 140. Now we've had 14 cents of movement. On the total here for this one, we have an 8.5 minus 114 to the under. This opened up at 8.5 and it dropped to 8. It dropped to 8 at 9 this morning. It came back up at 11 this morning. So overall, we've had no movement on the total. Let's take a look at the cash flow for the spot. We have 64% of tickets and 89% of the cash on Pittsburgh. Honestly, I don't know if that's enough movement for me. 56% of the tickets are on the under, 82% of cash on the over, and yet it went from 8.5 to 8, which is very confusing. PNC Park in Pittsburgh, 75 Fahrenheit, 8.9 miles per hour out to left center, dies down to 5.4 miles per hour. Ballpark Pal has PNC plus 6%. It's minus 3% home runs, plus 20% doubles and triples, minus 2% singles. Marlins And Pirates are hitting righties at almost the exact same number. Their bullpens are almost the same as well. So obviously it comes down to the pitching. Sandy Alcantara didn't pitch last year, and he looked terrible to start the year, but he's coming off a decent start. You could say yes, but it was, in Miami against the Rockies, and that's a fair thing to say. 6 innings. He allowed 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, and 1 walk. He's been horrific on the road this year, 28 earned runs over 19 2/3. He's only been, they've only hit 4 homers against him, but he's 17 Ks, 16 walks, which is atrocious. 366 opponent's batting average. Lefties are hitting him quite a bit harder than righties. If you look at this lineup, of course, O'Neill, Cruz, and then Reynolds hit from left side, and then you have Horitz, but no one else. This is probably a pretty good lineup for Sandy. Probably a pretty good lineup for him. Peter, take it away.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to add Friedel over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs -110. -110. Seeing that. I might add a few others. All right, so this one, the Alcantara start was kind of nice. Keller had been decent. And then the last start out, I think we give him a pass on. I did hit the Keller under 2.5 earned runs at -120 or so. I haven't checked to see where the line has moved. And I also hit Keller under 6.5 hits. Paid like a decent juice for that, but I hit that one as well. I think it's more likely than not to be a little bounce back spot here for Keller. And Alcantara, I think the jury's still out. I think he's going to be okay, especially in non-scary offensive situations. I would definitely be leaning Alcantara under 5.5 hits at plus money. Didn't bet that one yet, but it's definitely intriguing. Do think there's a Keller bounce back here. I didn't take the outs prop because I saw it was 18.5. I just took a couple others, and definitely leaning under, and the Miami team total under.
Well, this will be a first 3 under 2.5, I think, for me, and I can get on the board finally. First 3 under 2.5. I'm curious to see what happens to this market. I'll make the decision to pull the trigger after this show, but I expect Sandy Alcantara to start giving us, I know it's maybe nuts to say this, only one good start against Rockies, but probably give us some value when people see how horrific his numbers are. But we know he's probably going to come back around. And then Mitch Keller coming off a horrible start at home. Now he's got his back-to-back home starts. Spooner says Marlins are shopping Sandy. This seems like a great spot to back Sandy, in my opinion. If he pitches well versus a bad offense, he can go to the playoffs. Ronnie Lofton looking at that first 5 under 4 at plus 110. Really? Is it that? Interesting, Ronnie. Let me just go over to it here. Yeah, I guess, options there. Take the 4.5 under juiced or take the under 4 for plus money. I have no problem with that at all. Okay, I expect this to be a first 3 under 2.5, and I might want more. I'm going to really more on the under here. And then if that's the case, you guys, I saw Justin saying Pirates -140 is nuts. I don't find it nuts at all. They're 500 at home against a team that's 10 and 20 on the road. It's not enough is the problem. If they were a bigger favorite, I'd find them more appealing. I think the fact that it opens where it does and doesn't move right away is saying that Alcantara could pitch well here. So,
I think it's more likely than not that Alcantara pitches well. I don't think he's going to be Cy Young style for a while, but I think he's going to have your nice little 6-inning 2-run starts against relatively weak teams and relatively pitcher-friendly, locales.
Yeah, which is where he is, despite the homers that are huge, right? Homers were a plus 20%, which is not very good. I mean, that's his first quality start of the season. It came at home, and now he's back on the road. Oh no, he's had another quality start at home against the Reds. Yeah. That's it.
He's going to gut it out, and he's definitely going to have his 4 and 5 earned run starts. And probably we're going to see a 1 2/3 inning 7-run start within the next 6 weeks.
With Coin asking why is it up from 8 to 8.5? Again, Coin, I'm not sure how the best way to read this market is, but I see this opening up at midnight at 8.5. We know that midnight the limits are increased. If we go to and even wow, I didn't realize this. So it opened up at 8, juice to the over where we used to play poker. I didn't realize that. I thought it opened up at 8.5 everywhere. Okay. Mally Mouse says simple cap fade the Marlins. Interesting, Kong. I will copy and paste that. JW on Miami. And I want the first 3 under 2.5. And I think that's it at this point. Okay, let's roll
And
on.
by the way, we're also adding Dela Cruz hits, runs, and RBIs over 1.5 at -125. And for this one, we're going to add Keller, the earn run prop under. Oh, wow, but it's gone in the opposite direction. All right, maybe I'll stick to it, and maybe I'll add 1 or 2 Keller props here.
Okay. Well, let me know what you decide to add. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board. 6:45 p.m. Eastern. The Chicago Cubs 40-26. 20-15 on the road. The Philadelphia Phillies 38-28, 20-12 at home at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. God, I want to go back to I'm thinking of possibly a first 3 under in that Detroit-Baltimore game. We don't need to go back with the graphics. And we have our producer and co-host ready to rock, but I'm thinking of a first 3 under here in this one, honestly. And I'll let you guys know if the move is made here or if I'm definitely going to make the move after the show. Something's up in that one, man. I know Oriole Park very offensive here. I'll go over it here in a bit. And I could get the first 3 under at a 3. I get Herter for 2 innings who's been lights out. Okay, I'll figure it out here. Please welcome from our home studio in San Antonio, Texas at the Southtown 101, the best bar in Texas. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Jose Snips Bouquet. Jose, how are you?
Doing well, Jimmy. Excited for the day. Let's get after it, obviously.
Let's get after it. We have Mally Mal saying, I'm looking to back Mick Abel. I tell you who did, and Jeff saying Tigers are 11-0 to the over in series game 1 away. Thank you, Jeff. We have our guy, Mally Mal, wanting to back Mick Abel here. We had Spooner, who believed in Mick Abel heavily in his last start on June 4th. Going up against Colin Ray here. And after we break down Cubs Phillies, Jose, we'll go quickly over the first group of games to see if you're moving on them here. But
I don't have anything so far, so we don't have anything. I don't think you guys are either. By the way, speaking of Jeff, today walked into the bar, two new additions to the bar, Jimmy. This will be great for Palooza. 2 slot machines in the corner of the bar now. two slot machines in the bar now. So that should be very fun. Electric slots.
Get that money. Get that money, Jeff.
Yeah. So
why would I bet it? I've not bet a slot machine in my life. What do you mean get that money? What are you talking about? You think I'm gonna put a fucking 1 cent into a slot machine?
You never know, Jimmy.
If he hands out those $10 free vouchers, I'll use them like they do in.
But yeah, it's very very cool. I walked in and I saw it and I was like, man, this is just one more step closer to the sports betting kiosk, like my guy Preston said. So one more step.
It is. It will definitely be a moneymaker.
I can't wait to see the people playing it. I'm just fascinated to see what's going to happen with it. And
I'll play it. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to play it. I'm definitely going to play it.
Yeah,
I will lend you the money to play it, Pete.
You're going to stake me. Yeah, Jim will stake me.
No, lend it. Just lend it.
I thought
it's a loan.
That's
paid back with 2.5% interest, Pete. I actually, what you should do, Jimmy, you should just give the money to Helga, because Helga, for whatever reason in Vegas, jumps on the slots, fucking doubles her money, done quickly in like 5 minutes.
It'll always work like that. So
it's absurd.
Always how it happens.
Okay. It's absurd.
All right, let's go back.
A total of 32 cents on all the free slots vouchers I've ever been given.
Let's go back to Citizens Bank Park here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So we'll hit the weather and then we'll go through the line history here for this spot. 81 Fahrenheit, feels like 82. 6.3 miles per hour, left to right, very slightly out. It goes from 6.3 to 4.5, so it drops a little bit. A ballpark Pal has this as the tied for second most offensive situation today in the Daily Stadium report. Plus 11% tied with Oriole Park, plus 26% homers, plus 2% doubles and triples, minus 3% singles. Oh, and I you know what? Sorry, the PNC Park, I said plus 20% homers. Sorry, the PNC Park was plus 20% doubles and triples, minus 3% homers, minus 2% singles. I think I screwed that up, and I apologize for that. Let's get into line history here. We have Mick Abel and the Phillies. The total at 9.5, minus 114, open up minus 111. We've had 3 cents of movement to the under. Very high total. I mean, the weather's very offensive, but Mick Abel is being so good. The Phillies, this line's moved away from them. It's moved towards the Chicago Cubs from plus 104 to minus 105. And when we get to the cash flow, we have 61% of the tickets and 70% of the cash on the Philadelphia Phillies, and yet this line moving away from them. 65% of tickets on the under and 91% of cash on the over. This, I found it so difficult to cap this card because when I'd look at the lines, I would spend another 10 or 15 minutes trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Colin Ray had an opener in his last appearance. It worked. He doesn't have one now. He went 5 1/3 after the opener, 5 hits, no strikeouts, 1 walk, but no earned runs, 7-1 win at the Nationals. On the road this year, he's allowed 9 earned runs over 23 1/3. He's been pretty good. And it's lefties that hit him hard. Lefties, 314, 875. He's been getting righties out this year, 233, 641. So the lefties, Stott, Schwarber, Kepler, and Marsh. It's not the toughest group of lefties that you ever had to attack. Maybe that's part of this. And then you have Mick Abel, the unbelievable Mick Abel. June 4th against the Jays, it was a 2-1 loss, but he went 5 1/3 and he allowed just 1 earned run. May 18th at home versus the Pirates, 6 innings, 9 Ks, no earned runs, getting lefties and righties out very easily. Now the Cubs are destroying righties, 271, 791 OPS. The Phillies aren't hitting righties at all, 243, 684 OPS. This Phillies bullpen has been middling in the last 30 days. The Cubs bullpen has been elite beyond our wildest dreams. 1.73 earned run average over the last 30 days. Dougie Wise on the Cubs, minus 103. Jermaine says, I really like Ray here, but 9.5 seems like a whole lot. Mr. Bouquet, take it away.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I stayed off this game so far. I bet the Cubs last night quietly. I was texting with our guy Spoons, who thinks the Cubs are going to regress here, which is always an interesting thing. I kind of wouldn't be surprised either. And yesterday they lose that game. Luckily for me, I didn't tweet it out. I just tweeted out the Rays, which was a nice win for me. So I stayed off this game. I considered looking at the over, truthfully, with only 65% of the bets on the under, 91% of the money on the over. But I haven't moved on this game. I just think Mick Abel's time may come, and I honestly lean Cubs again. So I've stayed off.
You know what? I feel like the Cubs are live. I wish this weather wasn't so offensive because the Phillies aren't hitting. If you can use Ray to slow the Phillies down and have Mick Abel to pitch well enough to kind of slow the Cubs down a little bit, I don't see why we wouldn't get close to that. I don't know if you can trust Colin Ray. Mr. Loshak, take it away, Cubs, Phillies.
I have no, I bet nothing on this one. Ray very up and down. Off one of those weird, excellent, but 0 strikeout starts, of course, and Abel. I'm not exactly sure what to expect from him going forward. Half props are probably okay, but I'm gonna hold off. I mean, here, at some point, I think there's going to be some offense in this game. If not the first bunch of innings, middle bunch of innings, or late.
I think the Cubs are very live here, but I'm not sure if it needs to be bet before the game starts. I think that you need to wait until Mick Abel's out of the lineup. I mean, that is going to be my plan at this part, will be Cubs live.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, I'm looking at the line opener at where we used to play poker, seeing it minus 113 Phillies. and now minus 106 favored Cubs is always a little interesting.
Yeah, I think. God, I wish it wasn't so offensive weather. I mean, let's just go quickly over that weather once more. Plus 26% home runs. I mean, who's that going to hurt more? Because didn't we see Colin Ray in a game when it was blowing out heavily in Chicago? 18 miles per hour, and he handled it.
I think I'm going to end up moving on the Cubs. Excuse me.
What do we think of this guy, Abel? You got any opinions that beyond what we can see in the box score?
Yeah, I mean, Spooner put it out on the silver platter for us, Mick Abel. He added a pitch that's changed everything. I mean, I don't have his numbers up anymore, but if you look at what he did last year in the minors, it was horrific.
Right.
And then this year he's just being lights out. And Spooner gave us here we go.
23-year-old dude off of 2 lights out starts. Ooh.
Born in 2001, Pete, by the way, for your records.
This is one. This is from a week ago or so. He said this is before his start against Toronto. He said, "I like backing Abel." This is from Spooner. He said, "I said it in his first start, but we'll only get 2 more starts, and the market will catch up. This kid is a back arm. He got forced into throwing a new pitch in the minors, and it set him back. The maturity we're seeing right now is impressive. I've seen it twice now where he's getting a rookie strike zone and reacting completely unfazed. This is my favorite rookie pitcher this year. Yeah. He's the only guy besides Hoagland I judge as a pitcher and not just an arm."
Right. Wow. That's high praise.
Yeah.
That's Greg Maddux. This dude probably doesn't even know the fuck who Greg Maddux is. But he's getting Maddux style praise.
I faded Spoons yesterday. I lost. I'll fade him again here, I guess, and we'll see what happens. I'll be on the Cubs.
Yeah, I think so. I think it makes
Cubs
sense.
Full game as well, obviously. Minus 107 for me.
Cubs minus 107.
It just seems like the market's screaming Cubs today. Line moving towards the Cubs. Wager talk saying that there is 61% of the bets, 70% of the money all over the Phillies here. And line moving towards the Cubs. It's just one of those spots I have to bet.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Oh, look at that. Well, Spoons is on the Cubs, so that's nice to hear.
Yeah, he says Mick Abel was open as a favorite versus Skeens, but not versus Ray. Wow. Okay. Before we move on to the next game here, Jose, I'm just very quick rapid fire here. Orioles as favorites against the Tigers with Cade Povich on the mound. Cade Povich is being destroyed at home, 22 runs and 27 in the third. We have Brant Herter opening up and then Gibson Long taking over. What are your first thoughts when you see the market? Orioles is a favorite and moving towards the Orioles.
It says bet the Orioles. I haven't bet it. I didn't think I was going to. Maybe, we can. When does that game start? 6? I guess
6:40.
I probably wasn't gonna bet the game, but it definitely says Orioles for me. I mean, why, as everyone would say, why is a last place Orioles team favored against? Again, they're home, sure, and Cade Povich is 1-4. He's looked fine, but he's still 1-4 against the best team in baseball and the Tigers with Sawyer Gibson-Long, who's been fine, and Brant Herter open. So I agree. I think it's Orioles or nothing.
Slade Ciccone going up against Andrew Abbott, and Ciccone is the favorite minus 109. This market has not moved at all. Everybody, I think there was one person I think it was JW. It was every single person thinks this is some sort of a gift that the books are giving them. Everybody backing the Reds here. This is the same line movement we saw last week when Abbott got lit up for 5 innings. Why are you off of this spot? Is it because you can't back Ciccone?
No, I like Slade. I just like both pitchers here. I think the Reds are good. Obviously, my futures on the Reds make me to remind me of that. But I agree with you, Jimmy. This is 60% of the bets, 90% of the money on Andrew Abbott. And we've gone from minus 115 where we used to play poker at to minus 107. There's a big move on them. Minus 111 at Penny and minus 109 now. I too agree. I think that's just the books opening their arms to get this Andrew Abbott money, and then Slate Ciccone pitches well. Because I think these two teams are very similar, to be honest. So I like Andrew Abbott as a better pitcher as Slate Ciccone, but not by that big of a margin here. So I'd lean Cleveland too.
And then we have Pittsburgh opening up at -124, moving to -140. I mean, Peter and I feel like Alcantara is going to have a good start here, which led me to the first run of 2.5. But are you surprised that the Pirates are 500 ball club at home on a winning streak against one of the worst teams in baseball? If Mitch Keller opened up at -140, which where he's now, opened up -140 and now is -160, I'd want Pittsburgh, and I think Alcantara was going to get touched. What do you think of this market? This one?
Yeah, it makes me feel like I think that Sandy's going to get touched personally.
Mitch,
I think Sandy is.
Why is that? Why? So what is it about that line that makes you think Sandy's going to get touched? Because I think the opposite. So is Peter.
So we went -132 to -145.
No, I went from. Oh, you're talking about a different book. Okay.
Well, I'm just looking. We both I think use the same website. I'm just saying that's where I guess where we used to play poker open them up. That's typically the first people. They opened up -130. 2 and now it's -145. Penny opened -126 up to -140. It makes me feel like Sandy's going to get touched up here.
See, I read that completely different. This line was available for 9 hours and didn't move, or moved 3 cents, or 8.5, or 8 hours, I should say. And then the public comes in and pushes a few cents, because it's similar to what happened last week with Abbott. The line the line moved 9 cents away from Abbott at first, but when the public got involved, the line ended up moving to Abbott. In the end, there was a 15-cent move to Abbott, but it took the public to get in late. So I read it differently, but we can all enough flush on Pittsburgh team total under. But we, it's totally valid how we read these markets. So. Is there anything you want to add just to those first 3 games? Because those lines are just madness. Is there anything you're adding? Anything you want to say, or do we move on to the next game?
I got 2 Keller props. I got Abbott, Friedel, De La Cruz, and I got Herter and Torres.
If I have a light card, I'll probably end up coming back to Baltimore here.
Okay, let's roll on. Next up, we have Jose's Boston Red Sox, Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. I've talked about these lines that were nuts to me. This is the craziest of them all. I mean, I just couldn't believe my eyes. And Lucas Giolito has thrown 16 in the third innings in 4 starts at home, and he's allowed 19 earned runs and 32 hits. Opponents rating 438 against him. And he's going up against
438
at home, yeah.
Man.
And then we have him opening up at -104 and now -111. Well, what the hell's that? Jesus.
That's like back in Little League when you'd see like team batting averages of like 450 and shit.
You all right, Jim? You got the pigeons are inside?
something.
Look at that. Finally, someone's not laughing at the way I'm living.
The pigeons are inside. The pigeons are inside.
Little respite.
Okay, that woke me up.
Inside.
It's not a mouse. Right. It's not a mouse, but what the fuck was it?
Jimmy just got startled. We're good. He's back. He's back, ready to go.
That's never happened before. All right.
This is the action. He's saying things, guys.
He says defend yourself, Jimmy.
Okay. Keep your hands up. We didn't know you're an active fighter.
Defend yourself, Jimmy. So funny. Okay. This line makes no sense whatsoever. And I don't want to make bets solely on market, but it doesn't hurt people to do that. And if you were to do that, it'd be obviously the Boston Red Sox. I mean, this is just nuts. So, okay, let's look at this. Pepio's had 4 road starts. Giolito's had 4 home starts. Giolito has allowed 13 more earned runs in those 4 starts. He's allowed 16 more hits in those 4 starts. I mean, how could this possibly? It's absolutely insanity. Both teams are hitting righties over the last 30 days, same way. Rays have a slightly better bullpen over the last 30 days. It's just. I mean, I can remember, 2017. I would come to the show with Pete, and I'd be on the Rays. And now, being in the game for so long, I'm like, I mean, what the 65 Fahrenheit feels like 67, 4.5 miles per hour right to left, and then it stays at 4.5. It starts blowing out more and more as the game goes on. We go to Ballpark Pal here for Fenway. We have, where the hell is it? Why can't I find it?
All the way at the bottom?
No, it's just.
They said fuck this game, huh?
Okay, it's not there for some reason. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's at the bottom and the picture didn't. Let me click on the picture. No, it's
interesting.
It is not there. Okay, so here we go. Jose Bouquet, take it away.
I'm gonna sound like a gigantic homer, and that is okay. Because that homerism took me to 2 out of 3 out of the Yankees this weekend, which is a great time. But Roman Anthony finally called up for the Boston Red Sox last night or yesterday, and that was great. It's a fun time. He didn't do shit in the game, but I would also find it difficult to drive 3 hours to go play in your first Major League Baseball game and all that good stuff. So I just noticed that yesterday the Red Sox were playing a little more, like a little harder. Run a little harder. Those 21, 22-year-olds hitting right back-to-back in the lineup is finally what I was hoping for this whole season. It's what I thought would, give this Red Sox team a little bit of a boost, kick the old guys in the ass, bring some young new energy. And I'm very excited for this team now. Now, obviously, Wilyer Abreu being hurt and Alex Bregman being hurt is not the ideal scenario here, but minus 110 here. I love the Red Sox here. I was on the Rays last night, Sunday Night Baseball fade after a big win, and they battled that whole game. They made it a really fucking sweat and a half, and the Rays didn't really look that good. And I think Pepio is double the pitcher Lucas Giolito is. And like you just said, Jimmy, this is a minus 110 line. So Red Sox for me, minus 107.
I mean, it's absolutely nuts. Peter, what do you make? How do you make sense of this?
Yeah, there is some life there. I mean, high volatility with Giolito. So if I was going to bet this game, I would look for dog lines. If I was going to take Boston, I'd probably take 1.5. The problem is just, Pepio is just, he's just very good, very reliable, very consistent. I would love to take Devers hit runs and RBI prop, but I can't fade Pepio. Really, he's just very consistent, and I'm not going to do it. But I understand the move.
Well, okay, so if the market is telling us that either Pepio is going to be touched or Giolito is going to pitch okay, this line opened up at 9, minus 118 to the over. It moved after an hour and 45 minutes to 9.5, and then it came back at 8 in the morning, and we've now had a slight move to the under.
I lean under.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't that tell you that the first 3 under is in play and Giolito is going to pitch well here?
Yeah, I mean, and again, maybe if I really like the under, maybe I'd try to get some alt line if they weren't charging too much, some like 6.5 or something like that, because very, very high volatility for Giolito.
Okay, we got Londo's best bet on the Royals here.
And the other problem is just that Tampa Bay is not a team I want to be fading either at this point. So it's going to be a pass for me.
AM says the best conditions are early, and both bullpens have been good. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I will mention the Red Sox bullpen is gassed. Three straight, and I think Spoons mentioned it as well. 3 straight days of Chappie. I don't think he'll be pitching. Garrett Whitlock, 13 pitches the day before yesterday, day off yesterday. He will probably end up closing. Like Greg Weisser, back-to-back day off yesterday. Bernardino, back-to-back, but he fucking throws every other day, so he might be available. Who the fuck knows? Justin Wilson, back-to-back day off yesterday. He will be available. Luis Guerrero not available. Zach Kelly sucks balls, and Brian Van Bell just got called up, so if he gets put in the game, then we should start sweating. Tampa Bay, real quick, I'll just mention their bullpen. Pete Fairbanks, 30 pitches, blown save yesterday. Garrett Clevenger, 14 pitches, blown save. Manuel Rodriguez, 21. Eric Orris, 16. Those are all like their main 4 guys. I'd be a little surprised if Fairbanks is available, but all those guys on the second half of a back-to-back, I'll take.
I understand the conditions are better early, but I still kind of like the first 3 under. Let me just take a quick peek what it is, and then we'll move on from this one here. Get this here.
I think we're going to get some hot socks here soon. We're going to get some hot socks in the next few weeks.
Well, we waited long enough.
Yes, we did.
We have the first 3 under 2.5 is plus 100, but that's what a 9 juice to the over would give you. So then I would need to ask myself, and sorry to sit here for a second, but I just want to see what the under 3 would cost me here. The alternate total, it's too expensive. So I'd have to take the 2.5. Okay, I can figure that out here. Billy Frieder says, Giolito, Mr. Spider Tax. Says, guys haven't pitched well since they cracked down on it. Okay, I'm going to study that longer. Let's roll on. Next up, we have 7:10 p.m. Eastern action. Washington Nationals at the New York Mets. We're in Citi Field in Queens, New York here.
Future Cy Young Award winner.
No, there was no change in pitchers. There's just an opener here. Just an opener. We have our guy, Billy Friedrichs. Mystery, just an opener. We have our guy, Billy Friedrichs, Pig Milk play of the day. It is Starlin Marte over. Let me just get back to it. Starlin Marte over 1.5 bases for our guy, Billy Friedrich here, who is crushed with the Pig Milk play today for an extended period of time. We have a Mackenzie Gore going up against Griffin Canning. I was very wrong about Griffin Canning getting touched in his last start. I cashed on him and getting touched in the start before, and I just thought he was going to continue, and I was very wrong. He shut down the Dodgers in impressive fashion. He, at home, 6 starts, 26 2/3, allowed 10 earned runs, 2 weighted opponents batting average, only allowed 1 home run at home. Splits are great. Going up against Mackenzie Gore, who's also got very strong splits. He has been quite a bit better at home than on the road, but he's looked beautiful in back-to-back starts here. Ronnie Lofton, SGP, Wood and Nemo over a half hit each. So Wood and Nemo a hit each at plus 155. Robert Cherry, Reds, Cubs, Mets, Rays, parlay coming together for Robert Cherry. We have the Nats versus righties, 247, 722 OPS. The New York Mets right now versus lefties over the last 30 days, 199 with a 586 OPS. They've been horrific. Nats bullpen 3.69 ERA being very strong, but not as strong as the Mets. 2.58 ERA over the last 30 days being excellent. So let's get into the weather here for this one. What the hell am I doing? Am I looking at the... Okay, I think I screwed this up here. I think I was looking at the wrong... Oh, that was my fault, man. When I couldn't find the Red Sox because I was looking at the wrong fucking stadium report. Just for that one game. Good God. Because I'd gone up to see Spooner's notes on the fucking Mick Abel.
He's an old man now. He's an old man. You have to deal with him, When you first got him, he was a young buck. Now,
Citi Field here, minus 5% overall.
AI technology.
Plus 6% homers. Minus 17% doubles and triples. Minus 7% singles. So that's what we have here. In Fenway Park, yeah, that's where I screwed up. Okay, that all makes sense now. So here we go. Let's roll. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. We have the total at 7.5 minus 113 to the over. Opened up at 7.5, went up to 8 at 2 in the morning, came back at 3:45 in the morning. Overall, we had 5 cents in movement to the over. On the money line here in this Mets spot, move over here. On the money line, we have the Mets minus 145. They opened up at minus 155. We've had a slight move towards the Nats, 5 cents here at this book. And when we look at the cash flow here, we have 76% of the tickets and 65% of the cash, 76 and 65. 76% of tickets on the Mets, 65% of tickets on the Nationals. So 76 and 35. The book's telling us that the Gore is going to outpitch Canning, that the Mets will continue not to hit lefties, and that the Mets are very live here. Sorry, that the Nats are very live here. That's what they're saying, that the Mets won't hit lefties and the Nats are very live here. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I bet Mackenzie Gore first 5 money line here for the last 2-3 starts, I think it's been. And I'm just going to keep rolling on. Now, transparently, the last 2 have both been pushes, and it's been pretty frustrating. I think they've been 0-0, 1-1, super low scoring pushes. He dominates in the Nationals offense. Doesn't give me jack shit, but I'm right back on the well here today. Even money, first 5 innings. I have, by the way, where we look at line movement here, this first 5 line specifically opening up -135, now down to -120, which, kind of gets me on it. I don't want to take full game just because the Nationals bullpen is horrible, as we all know. But yeah, first 5, Gore for me, and I'll probably just keep on riding this first 5 bandwagon with Mackenzie Gore and seeing how it goes.
Makes sense to me, Pete. What do you think?
Well, I did make one bet. This similar to the Abbott game. Had my head scratching a little bit. The Gore outs prop was relatively modest, 17.5. I mean, when these stud starters make starts where they're expected to pitch well, and they put up the 17.5 outs prop, a lot of times you're looking at -210 and shit. This is -130 or so, and now it's even lower. I'm seeing a 120. I'll take it anyway. Gore over 17.5 outs, -120. But I don't understand it. Obviously, this is a very low I don't know. And his earned runs prop, similar to Rodon last Tuesday, is a little bit interesting. 2.5, -120, -145 to the under, but 2.5. You look back at Rodon, it's like he had 1 game where he gave up over that, and similar to Gore. Once in a while, he gives up 3 earned runs, but very, very infrequently. So I don't know where that friggin' number's coming from, but I won't double up. I'll just take the outs prop.
Spooner saying the Nationals start 8 lefties today. Canning struggling with lefties. He must be struggling. I mean, they're hitting 257, but just a 705 OPS. That's why I said, his splits are fine. Why the hell would it be a 2.5 on Gore if this full game is 7.5? Doesn't make sense. And then that's bullpen, Jose's being really strong over the last 30 days.
Good to see.
But I mean, they're not the auto fade that they were at all. I mean, they blow and saves it, but almost all the bullpens have improved with their 30-day stats in the last 10 days or so.
What's their ERA at now?
In the last 30 days, 3.69.
Nice. I mean, how could you not improve from literally the worst bullpen since integration? So, I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but I'll still ride with my guy McKenzie, but I agree. Not an auto fade as he once was. So be careful live betting in the scheme if you guys do.
Why in the world would that be a 2.5 for Mackenzie Gore? And why would his outs be 17.5?
Seems like this might be an over kind of game, low key.
But the Mets aren't hitting lefties at all. All right. Okay. You know what? I feel like could be easily leaving money on the table, but I'll just write. So, Jose, you are on the Nationals first 5. What do you get on it?
Even money.
And Pete, anything for you here?
Yeah, just Gore over 17.5 outs, -120.
So when you see something like that, Pete, you don't think this is so fishy, I want to leave it alone?
It is a little bit fishy. But, last week there were 3 or 4 like that, and I think all of them won, or maybe one of them lost, the rest of them won. Rodon, I was like, his outs prop, his strikeout prop, his earned run prop, they all look good. They all cashed.
What, Jose, what, I mean, am I reading this wrong with how bad the Mets have been versus lefties last 30 days? What is their weighted runs created plus? I don't have it in front of me. Do you have it?
Yes, I do. Do you want the last 30 day or last.
I'll take
whatever
both or
score.
whatever you prefer.
From the 18th to today, 18th of last month to today, New York Mets, 253 plate appearances, 92 weighted runs created plus. That's 15th in the league, so not horrible,
No.
but still below average. And then full season, the Mets are 8th, 110 weighted runs created plus here. So I think they could. I mean, Mackenzie Gore, I think, is a very, very good pitcher, like top 20th pitcher. But I think the Mets could get to him for 3 runs, sure.
Okay. And what was your juice on the 17.5 outs?
Minus 120.
If they do get to him for 3 runs, I'm not going to feel confident about my bet, but I think Griffin Gannon can give it up here, even though he's a future, maybe even this year, Cy Young Award winner.
Oh, come on, man. That's like, Jesus Christ. Look, I'm his biggest fan, and I don't fucking.
No, you're not apparently anymore.
Well, I am. I just last year everyone shits all over him. This year they bet him to win the Cy Young. I mean, good
God.
All right, we can roll on here.
Oh God,
it's too fishy, man. Okay, let's roll. Next up, we have 7:45 p.m. Eastern. Atlanta Braves 28-37, 11-23 on the road at the Brewers, 35-32, 19-13 at home. American Family Field, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It just doesn't correlate at all with the Nationals that Mackenzie Gore is expected to shove in this total of 7.5. So maybe Jose nailed it. Maybe it is the over. Good God. A wine time in the house. What up, wine time? Dougie Wise close to betting the Atlanta Braves here. Grant Holmes and my guy Quinn Priester on the hill. Those were the days. I had to fucking fight for Quinn Priester. Jesus.
Now you're fighting for Emerson Hancock.
Yeah.
And soon to be Brandon Pfaadt, I feel.
I don't know what. That's back-to-back terrible starts from Pfaadt. I mean, I don't know what to do with him today, honestly. But okay, let's go. Grant Holmes, 3-4, 3.99 ERA, 1.20 WHIP, 68 strikeouts over 67 2/3. Last start, 3 1/3, 3 earned runs, 4 Ks, 2 walks. It was 11-10 loss at home to Arizona. It was that wild game we were live for here. He's pitched in 5 road games, 4 times he started, 15 earned runs in 24 1/3. And he's only allowed 14 hits. His K to walk ratio is a problem, 18-13, and 6 of the 14 hits, almost half, have gone yard. They're only hitting 167 against him. He's very tricky numbers to quantify. Quinn Priester coming off a nice 9-1 appearance. That was when DL Allen, what the hell is his name? But the
Hall,
DL Hall, thank you. DL Hall opened, and then Priester came in, and the market told us that Abbott was going to get touched, and Abbott got touched. And the market's doing the same thing today about Abbott. Priester, 5 innings, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, 3 walks, that 9-1 win. At home, he's pitched in 4 games. He started 19 2/3, and he hasn't been very good. He's allowed 11 earned runs. But again, 189 opponent's batting average. He's just walking too many batters. I mean, neither of these pitchers are getting hit that much. Lefties, 257, 96 OPS. It is lefties that have been getting to Priester. Righties, just 211, 614. So then we ask, who are the lefties on the Braves that we need to worry about? Baldwin, Olsen, Albies will switch and hit from left side, Verdugo and Harris. Not the most dangerous group of lefties. Braves versus righties last 30 days, 252, 712. Brewers, 226, 54, and both bullpens hovering around a 4 ERA over the last 30 days. Priester and the Brewers are plus 110. They opened up at plus 104. A very slight move to the Braves. And then in the total for this one, we have an 8.5 at a pick'em. And that's where we stand. There's been a very, very slight 2-cent move towards the under. And then when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have 58% of the tickets and 81% of the cash on Atlanta. I mean, has the line moved enough? 90% tickets, 87% cash on the under. Jose Bouquet, take it away.
A stay-off game for me. I don't think this line has really moved too much, like you just mentioned. So I couldn't get there with Quinn Priester. The Braves are kind of a sinking ship right now as well. They blew that big game, the big lead the other day. They're having midseason send-offs of Craig Kimbrell, which I liked, but like that just doesn't seem like a team that seriously wants to compete here. So I'm off of the Braves here. I just don't want to back them here for the next little bit. So I lean Quinn Priester in the Milwaukee Brewers, but nothing here for me.
Yeah, it feels coin flippy. Peter, what's your plan here?
Well, it's pretty coin flippy. I did take Priester under 5.5 hits though, and it's moved a bit since I bet it. But I'll take the best line now, which is -145. Priester under 5.5 hits, -145. And I don't think it's a great spot for Holmes, but his outs prop is surprisingly low, so I don't think I'll give it officially. But I did bet that one 16.5, over 16.5. Should be all right. That's moved a little bit in my favor. Holmes will probably have a nice little start. I lean under as well.
Yeah, this total's not moved at all. I like Grant Holmes. And then this was being backed, wasn't it, by the public? 90% of tickets on the under, 87% of cash on the under. I guess it does feel like it's God. Can you believe the Braves are 9 games under 500, 12 games under 500 on the road? I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, then the line makes no sense whatsoever. You have Holmes at -119 on a team that's 11-23 on the road. If you look at it from that perspective, wouldn't that make you want to bet the Braves? I mean, Jose, doesn't that make the Braves appealing?
Yeah, a little bit more. I think the Braves do command a little bit of a respect in the marketplace because of their lineup and everything too.
How's Milwaukee offensively, Jose Bouquet? Just a 5-second assessment.
Well, I can tell you against righties in the last full season, Milwaukee 25th, 93 weighted runs created plus. In the last 10 days, they are 28th, 63 weighted runs created plus against righties. So not good, Pete.
I mean, all right. I'm going to take Holmes over 16.5 outs as well. And I'll shop around for the better line, for the best line.
I mean, these pitchers should both be okay here. Shouldn't they? They should both be fine. Holmes should be able to take out these meek bats. It's the bullpens that have both been vulnerable. Kind of leading me towards that first 3 under in this one. I would like just to see what it is here.
Atlanta not much better against righties in the last 10 days either, Jimmy. You mentioned 25th, 75 weighted runs created plus. You won't see Atlanta that low many times here. Full season 16th, 103 weighted runs created plus. So very average. That's Ron Crawford, by the way, dropping the MLB spreadsheet. Play of the day, Cincinnati Reds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is the deja vu, man. What was it? Wednesday, June 4th was you know what? I'm just so curious. What was his I just got the craziest deja vu. What was his play today on Wednesday, June 4th? Was it backing? Let me just give me a second here. God, it's gonna take me too long.
Jimmy having some bet relapse here. Flashbacks to bets past. Pete, when you close your eyes, what bet do you see?
Oh, God. I see an absolute nightmare of 5,000 bets whizzing all around my head. It's like
I remember that game from 2002.
Yeah. You know how like the beautiful mind geniuses, they close their eyes and there's just like math and ones and zeros because they're such geniuses. I just see tickets, 45% winners, 55% losers, whizzing, 5,000 of them all around.
Yeah, I can picture it now. You're just seeing this ticket. You're like, oh man, Donovan McNabb threw that interception in the fourth quarter.
Like 47% winners, 53% losers.
Yeah. Okay, way to give yourself some credit there.
All right, I can't find it. Maybe he can just tell us. Ron, what was your MLB play today on Wednesday, June 4th? If you could. Oh, maybe it's gonna be here. Okay, I'll roll on. I can't find it.
I'm
Okay.
shocked you can't find it in those deep notes you have. Those notes are rigorous.
Yeah, I need to sit. I'll keep looking, but I feel like we were just here. Sorry, Ron. No big deal. No worries. It's not. Okay. Let's roll on. Next up for us here, and I am interested in the first 300. I don't know if I get there, but I'm interested. Next up for us, 7:40 p.m. Eastern. The New York Yankees, 39-25, 18-13 on the road at the Kansas City Royals, 34-32, 19-13 at home at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Stephen Hairston moving on the Braves in that last spot. Take a look at the weather in Kansas City, 86 Fahrenheit. Feels like 85, 3.6 miles per hour out to right center. It stays at 3.6 for the game. We have, and AM saying Yankees, Royals under 8.5, minus 105, a smash. We also have Londo's best bet on the Royals, a plus 1.5 here. We have Kauffman Stadium plus 6%, minus 11% home runs, plus 16 doubles and triples, and plus 8 singles. Interesting. Let's take a look at the line history with Fried and Cameron. I mean, obviously, I find the market extremely suspect. You have the best now. I know that Noah Cameron's only thrown 31 2/3 this year, but statistically, these are the best two combined pitchers on the board by a huge amount. And we have an 8.5, which isn't that the same total that Giolito's pitching in?
Yeah, a little high.
I mean, so I can understand, like, if you have a model, it will tell you that you got to hammer the under. But I look at this total and think, what the fuck is going on? Why would they offer us an 8.5? I mean, this season here, or this season, we have a 1.78 ERA, 0.94 WHIP for Max Fried. Noah Cameron is a 0.85 ERA, 0.79 WHIP. I mean, the splits are, both pitchers have just the most ludicrous splits ever. The Yankees have stopped hitting with lefties, 246, 735 OPS, but that's quite a bit better than the Royals, who are 246 but 633 OPS. And then both bullpens, and maybe that's the thing, is that both bullpens have been really bad. Yankees bullpen all of a sudden last 30 days, bottom 10 in the league. This is just crazy. Like, I don't trust the books. I want to, I think horrible things about the books. Let me just leave it at that. The Yankees are at minus 191. They open up at minus 193. This line's not moving towards them. This total is way, way too high. And then when we get to the cash flow here, okay. Thank you, Ron, my man. Thank you, my man. I just had this. My fault. Then we have the Yankees, Royals cash flow here. You have 84% of tickets, 80% of the cash on the Yankees, 68% of tickets, and 86% cash on the under. Mr. Bouquet, take it away.
Yeah, I stay off. I could only bet Royals in this game, and as a little Sunday night baseball kind of fade type thing. But I'd rather them play on the next day and not have the day off. So I've stayed off this game. I mean, I understand people betting Royals plus 1.5. I think they could win this game outright. And if I think they could win this game outright, I could see why I want a plus 1.5. But no action for me. I will mention that Jeff Passan just tweeted out that the Brewers are calling up Jacob Mizorowski. He's a pitching prospect, throws the ball hard as fuck. Probably will be in their bullpen, my assumption.
Thank you for that, my friend. Pete, what do you think when you see an 8.5 with these pitchers have, fucking Sandy Koufax, Pedro Martinez in his prime numbers?
I mean, I do. There are some analytics that indicate regression for Cameron. Obviously, regression is only possible for him. So I'm not surprised by him. I mean, his earned run prop is actually 2.5 juiced to the over. So that's interesting. It's more, Fried has a very low strikeout prop, which I understand. I actually would lean under 4.5 strikeouts at plus money for Fried. But then again, you have an earned run prop for Fried, 2.5, just like the Rodon prop. My numbers indicate value on Fried under 2.5 earned runs, even at the big line. Can't take it though. And attempting to take both teams, not one team not to score 3, like minus 130 or so. But yeah, I would love to take that Fried under 2.5 earned runs prop, but I guess I'm gonna not.
AM says, when I see an ace like Max Fried versus struggling Royals bats and low humidity, average pressure conditions, auto under bet for me. Oh God, I get it. First thing I think when I see these two pitchers is the under. Spooner says this park plays more to the over as the weather gets nicer with all these bats and 2 pitchers due for regression. I'm very tempted at an over. This is okay. Look, I know I've been like acting as if I'm going to get robbed by one of these games. I've been acting like that through this entire card, and I apologize for that. It's just all these lines are so fucking fishy. And let's get to the next game here because I badly want to back Simeon Woods Richardson. Has he been confirmed as the starter? Must be.
I saw him on the books, so I believe so, yeah.
I badly want to back Simeon Woods Richardson here. And it's not, and it wasn't an easy thing to get to. And if I really trusted it, I would be on it, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be official that he was going to be pitching here. I saw a lot of undecideds.
Yeah. No, he's visual.
So, we know Zebby Matthews, Pablo Lopez are gone. Lopez gone for a long time. And Woods Richardson did not look good in his last start for Wilkes-Barre Scranton. Allowed 5 runs over 5 innings. And lefties have been destroying Simeon Woods Richardson. I mean, righties have been hitting him hard. Everybody's been hitting him hard, except at home. He seems to be handling everything fine. 4 earned runs over 3 starts in 15 innings, but he's allowed 3 home runs, and he's only walked 1 batter. He knows that he needs to step up here if he wants to stay in the majors. And I've trusted him at home, and I've watched him pitch well at home. Also, if you're worried about lefty bats, it's Smith and Seager 1-3 and Carter batting 5th, and that's it. Heim might, hit from the left side. Shout out to Dabby Cab in the house. I want to back Simeon Woods Richardson here against. So the Twins are hitting righties hard, 255, 767. The Rangers aren't hitting them at all, 212, 650. Both bullpens have been very good. Sure, Tyler Molly's been phenomenal this year, but for how long is this possibly going to last? He's coming off a 5-1 loss to the Rays where he allowed 4 runs over 5 1/3. He's been much better at home than he's been on the road. 12 earned runs over 27 1/3, 238 opponent's batting average. His splits are very good. This is something that I really wanted to attack. As I said, the line opened up at minus 121. It's just minus 120, so no movement there. When we get to the total here for this one, we have a 9. It's minus 108 to the under. Here we go. Sorry, something coming up here. So let's take a look at the cash flow for this one and then take it away. We have not had any money line information yet. 60% of the tickets on the under, 95% of cash on the over. Mr. Bouquet, take it away.
I battled with this game as well. I honestly was a little shocked at how low the line opened up here. I don't know. Maybe I'm overestimating Simeon Woods Richardson. Jimmy, did he come off an injury?
No, they sent him to the minors.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to double check that because the other day I didn't have. I had thought he got or someone sent down, so I wanted to double check with you. So I can see why you like it here. I mean, this is the classic, get the second chance spot, right?
Exactly, but I also I don't trust Molly.
I thought this line was going to be higher personally, like minus 140, because maybe I overestimate Simeon Woods Richardson. The Guardians, the Twins sending him down makes me feel like they obviously didn't see him as has a high enough value, but Wine Time mentioned that we don't bet Molly on the road here. We just bet him at home. So I'm interested to see what the splits are this year. Wow, home. This is ridiculous. This is a home ERA of an 0.82 in 44 innings pitched. Road 27 innings pitched, a 3.95. That's crazy. It's not a lot of home run at home yet so far. So shout out to Tyler Molly. I mean, yeah, it's Twins are nothing for me, Jimmy. I kind of agree with your look here.
I thought about hitting this a little harder, and instead of, and maybe I don't have to, but it is. I don't want to pay any vig, and I even thought of a Twins double result. I don't know if that's necessary, but Pete, take it away.
Well, yeah, Woods Richardson is a big question mark, but whether he pitches, whether he suppresses runs or not, he probably will get a couple Ks. So I'd rather be getting a 3.5, but I'm going to take a shot with Woods Richardson over 4.5 strikeouts minus 103, and I'll shop around, see if I can get a little bit better. But, might be one of those mediocre starts where he gives up a bunch of runs, maybe doesn't even go 5 innings, winds up getting a bunch of strikeouts, prove he can strike guys out.
Shout out to our guy Rez Mob in the house. Great to see you. AM saying this total is high because of the wind, the left field, low pressure, and hot temperatures. I'd like to get in on this one, man. It's according to Ballpark Pal, -1 overall, plus 1% homer, -6% doubles and triples, plus 1% singles. And then when we look at Swish here for the Twinkies Ballpark, blowing pretty heavy out to left, 8.9 to start things off. Yeah, so the Minnesota double result plus 200. That's what I'm talking about. I'd like to see what the difference between the first 5 and the full game is. Twinkies -125 at 365 full game, and then first 5 just -110. So they're still saying that Molly gives them the advantage. Oh, God. I mean, that almost indicates that you should just wait live. I'm going to find a way to get on the Twins. But I'd like Simeon Wood Richardson to pitch well here. And I think this is the perfect opportunity for him to get some confidence and to move forward. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. 100% I'm going to have a bet on the Twins in some form. I just don't know if I want to try to hit a home run with the double result or just take the full game. And maybe it's just the full game that should be backed. Let's roll on to St. Louis Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. Ronnie Lofton says, Rangers are on my O's do not bet side list. If I back Texas, they screw me. If I fade them, they screw them. So let's roll here. We have Bassett versus Michaelis. Let's get into the weather in St. Louis at Busch Stadium. 80 Fahrenheit. That's what it feels like. 3.6 miles per hour to right field. Dice down to 1.8 mile per hour. From Ballpark Pal, they have, what do they have? Busch. They have Busch -4%, -5% homers, -11% doubles and triples, plus 7% singles. Line history wise, we have the Toronto, the total at 8.5, -109 to the under. This opened up at 8.5, and then about 6 hours later moved to 8. It would bounce. It's bounced a couple times up to 8.5, and it has bounced again. It bounced 33 minutes ago up to 8.5, and it looks like it might stay there, which would mean overall, despite it being at 8 for so long, we still have 3 cents of overall movement to the over. And then on the money line, we have the Jays at plus 104. They open up at -114. So, a real legitimate move for the Cardinals. Dog to favorite. Cash flow wise for this one, we got interleague. So 56% of the tickets, 61% of the cash on the Cardinals, 70% of the tickets on the under, 72% of cash on the over. Jermaine on the over 8.5. Justin McKelvey on the over 8.5. Philly Eagle Fly, by the way, on that Brewers game, tied after 2 innings. AM says Bassett looks like a gas can, but this Blue Jays lineup is extremely hot. Over the last 30 days, 255, 767 versus righties. Cards are hitting righties pretty well too over the last 30 days. 267, 722 OPS. Bo Jackson on the Cardinals money line. Here's a Jays season ticket holder on the Cardinals money line, and the market is indicating that this is the move. Chris Bassett been pitching very, very well, but not on the road. On the road, he's allowed 18 earned runs over 33 and a third. Lefties hitting him pretty hard. 291, 781 OPS. And there's not a ton of lefties. Newt Barr, Donovan, Burleson, and Victor Scott at least. Righties get to him a bit too. Michaelis is just pitching very well. Now he's been better on the road than he's been at home, but he's looked pretty good lately. His splits are fine. And the Jays do have a bullpen advantage as well. Rye Cape in the house. Man, what a great thing. What a wonderful thing to see our friend Rye Cape. Rye Cape used to rock with us when we were down in Costa Rica, Peter. Rye Cape in the building. I'm immediately going to roll with the Blue Jay season ticket holder, Bo Jackson. I think this is the right move. AM says I would not step in front of this Blue Jays team myself. Take it away, Mr. Bouquet. Floor's yours. I believe you're muted, my friend.
Yeah, there we go. I will make it easier for everyone. I'm just going to join, the line movement. You guys typically, if you guys follow the show, you guys will know this will almost automatically be a bet for me. So Cardinals for me, I'll let you guys know what the price is here in a second, but dog to favorite always gets me going. So minus 113 for me, St. Louis Cardinals. Full game.
Makes perfect sense. Sorry, what was the line you got?
Minus 113.
You're in business. Mr. Loshak.
Well, I definitely like the over, and there are a whole bunch of things that I bet related to it. Both teams to score 2, both teams to score 3, and I took both pitchers under 17 and a half outs. Small each way because they're all highly correlated. I took a little on run in the first, yes. And I like all those, and I'll also be adding some hitter props probably for St. Louis. Yeah, maybe I'll add on both to score 2 at minus 250 or something like that. Let Jose have a little bit of fun with his little clip there. I could take 3 minus 106, which is probably better. But
no, you know which one you want to take.
I do know.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
Don't lie to us, Pete.
I sure do know which one I want. And you know what? Fuck you. I'll take it. Both teams to score 2 minus 254. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
God, I wonder if should I be afraid? I mean, I know Spooner's a Cubs fan and does say negative things about the St. Louis Cardinals, but should I be concerned about this bullpen? I mean, I've got their numbers last 30 days and they're fine, but I've been higher on this Cardinals bullpen than everybody else, it seems, this year. Jose, should I be concerned?
I think we get like 6-7 strong innings from Michaelis today. And then I think we'll have to our worries about the bullpen will be cut the longer Michaelis goes, personally.
Well, I'm certainly going to be on the Cardinals. And then,
yeah, I mean, Hensley's a good closer too. He'll be there. He'll be their all-star most likely. So,
all right, Jose. No, I'm going to take 3 minus 106. Sorry.
Oh, you fucking.
Sorry to disappoint everyone.
You coward! Oh my God! Fuck.
We have a couple cappers that we hope to see at the Toronto Low Bag Summit of Champions, the Woodbine Low Bag Summit of Champions. Anybody, now this is not just for Ontario residents, for anybody who wants to come up to Toronto and rock with us.
Even Alberta residents?
Anybody who wants to come.
Nova Scotia too?
Sorry. I'm just going to switch it to over 8 minus 118. Yeah.
Okay.
It was too little juice. He's like, you know what? I need some juice.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is Saturday, August 23rd. Bo Jackson, we need you. Come hang with us. I'll be there, Mr. Spenny Bombs, Nuke Worker, Gokster. We're going to do all the big invites soon here. We're just kind of setting it all up. But Gorky will be there, amongst others. We'd love it if you were there as well.
Wait, where is this, Jim? And when?
Woodbine Racetrack in Rexdale Boulevard in the 427, Toronto, Canada. We're doing a party up here Saturday, August 23rd. Saturday, August 23rd.
Well, Pete, you also have another one apparently as well. Nasty Nate says, speaking of meetups, Pete, you will be at AC September 18th to the 22nd, right?
Yes, absolutely. I'll track down some free fucking $30 rooms. Absolutely, no question about it.
As he takes a big swig of his mystery
Prune juice,
beverage.
man. A little prune juice. Keep the body guessing, man.
My favorite thing is the bottles that he has it in as well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful bottle. Oh, it's a beautiful bottle.
What kind of bottle is that, Pete?
It's an artisanal bottle from Italy, handcrafted.
You could tell me that Pete's never been on a flight before, which I know is not true, and I'd believe him. And you could tell me that Pete has traveled the world, and I'd believe him.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's roll on here. Next up for us, no, it's we're gonna make changes. We're gonna make changes. We would love to have you up here, Kong. The country of Canada would love to have you up here, so we'll get that shit figured out. Let's roll on. Daikin Park in Houston, Texas, our next spot. Chicago White Sox 22-44, 6-26 on the road at the Houston Astros 36-29, 22-12 at home. Shane Smith against Lance McCullers, who has been printing me money since the death threats.
Yeah, he's under rotation.
We're just working on a bunch of people up here, getting their ability to cross the border. We're finding out how much it's going to cost. And things of that nature. We want great people up in Canada, regardless of what happened 20 years.
Maybe I could get Trudeau to throw me a bone here in his last few days.
Last few days, Trudeau's long gone, but
they got a few things I'd like to say to that guy.
Damn it.
Long gone.
My Canadian politics are 3 months late.
Lance McCullers has been printing us money. Every single start, he looks better than the start before.
Jimmy, what was the date again?
Sorry?
What was the date again for our guy Clark Edge asking real quick?
He's talking about the Atlantic City trip.
Oh, I thought you were talking about whatchamacallits. Okay, sorry. Never mind. Continue it on.
But the Atlantic City trip, September 18th to 22nd. But for us, the Woodbine trip, Saturday, August 23rd. And we'll be in touch with all you guys as well here. But let's roll here. I don't get made fun of anymore when I talk about backing Lance McCullers because everybody's seen the wins, the money. Because I was getting hammered in the chat at first. Hammered. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. How many games in a row has he made me money? 5? Let's get into the line history here in Houston. Shane Smith going up against fucking Sir Lancelot, man. This guy gets you paid. The Astros open up at minus 183. They're now minus 164. Not a good sign. But look, I'm not on. A big move towards the Chicago White Sox. Although Billy Friedrich on the White Sox first 5+1/2. That could have been. Could have had it. This total opened up at 8 and it dropped to 7.5, which makes that first 3 under. There's Coin saying first 3 under. It's appealing. It certainly is appealing. Let's take a look at the cash flow here. 56% of tickets, 74% of cash on the under. More appealing. 76% of the tickets on the Astros, but 67% of cash on the White Sox. Neither team hitting with power at all. White Sox versus righties last 30 days, 231.666 OPS. Astros versus righties, 253.702 OPS. The bullpens have been struggling, which is, again, why we don't need to worry about them. The White Sox bullpen over the last 30 days been better than the Astros bullpen. Shane Smith on the road's been really good this year. He's not one of those White Sox pitchers who's been better at home. He's been very good on the road. 6 starts. He's allowed 9 earned runs, 3 homers, 212 opponent's batting average. His splits are great. Lance McCullers is getting more and more confident each opportunity, but righties are destroying him. 314, 926. He's shutting down all lefties, but righties are hitting him hard. Midrith, Vargas, Robert, Elko, Caro are the righties. This seems like a first 3 under. The problem is that we'd most likely have to turn it into a 2. But that's what you want to see. You want to be, for me and for my action, if I'm forced to create a 2 on the 7.5, it's my ROI is very good. So the first 302.5 minus 150. You're forced to use the 2. This is a wheelhouse material. This is a first 302 for me. Mr. Bouquet, take it away.
Yeah, this was a TJ spot for me here. White Sox first 5 plus a half. Just to reiterate that side market here again, 76% of the bets on the White Sox, 76% of the bets on the Astros, 67% of the money on the White Sox there. So that line movement, all that good stuff. Give me the White Sox first 5 here, plus a half. Thinking Shane Smith pitches well. A guy, him and Sean Burke, guys I circled before the season, and hopefully I can make some money off of him here again.
He's been very good. Wow, coin, look at that. Minus 235. Sorry, minus 135, excuse me. Under 2.5, minus 135. 15 cents better, as always. Caesars and MGM generally give you much, much better lines. I would like just to see so White Sox plus 145 full game, and then first 5 plus 120. What are you getting on the first 5 plus a half?
Minus 120, which is kind of gross, but feels like it's a sign. At least I hope it is.
I don't know how much VIG I'd be comfortable using, but I get it. Peter Loshak, take it away.
Well, first of all, the McCullers outs prop was also a little bit low. I hit that one. It was 16.5. It was like minus 130, 125 or so. What is it now? By the way, I'm looking at Toronto St. Louis props that I'm gonna take as well. Add on some of those. But the only one that I bet here was I did bet again an outs prop that just looked a little bit suspicious. But then I thought, all right, I'll just take it. I know McCullers can sometimes have high strikeout stud starts that are not that long. 16.5 minus 130 seems a little low, right? Does Milwaukee? Are the White Sox? Do you have any reason to believe that they'll come and get them here?
I do. I mean, the line movement makes me feel like they're definitely live in this game.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sharp bets on them. I just don't think Lance McCullers is that good.
Right. And he definitely has his, starts that aren't where he gets a lot of strikeouts, so they are shorter. All right, yeah.
This feels like a 3 innings, 5 earned runs kind of performance from Lance McCullers.
Really?
Wow. Jesus, the fucking blasphemy from this guy. Just Jesus.
Wow.
I don't have faith in him today. Or really ever, but we don't have to talk about that.
But we can talk about how much money I've made off him, Jose. Would you like to talk about that?
Of course. I made money off of him before the death threats. During the death threats, I made money off of him. I stayed off, watched you cash on him. Hopefully, we can get back to shitty Lance McCullers here today.
Nasty Nate, Astros first 5. He
says fuck me.
No. He just also disagrees with your analysis.
No, he said fuck me. My face is stupid and I look ugly.
Was that a personal message he sent you?
No, that was bad. Astros first 5 had everything that I needed there for him.
Dougie Wise says that's a good look, Nate.
Dougie Wise also said I'm a fat slob piece of shit as well. So,
okay,
right.
Mr. Loshak, what are you making official here?
All right. Lance McCullers. Look, hold on. Spoons. Nah, Astros minus 1's good. He just called me a fat piece of shit too. Said my mother and fucking dog are ugly. Want the process of it. Fuck.
All right. Well, I don't want to join you on the White Sox early.
Fine. I'll be on White Sox Island, guys.
I would prefer them at a plus money spot. I don't want the VIG in this one. It makes me uncomfortable. I think just taking the first 302 at plus money is how I can get around it. But I would love to get that first 302.5 at minus 135. Peter, what are you making official here?
Nothing. I'm still looking at the St. Louis game. I'm going to make a bunch of stuff official there.
I'm going to be furious when the Astros lose this game full game and win first 5. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, we'll love it. Let's roll on. This is a fascinating situation here with Giants Colorado Rockies. We have weather that is extremely appealing to overs. 7.2 miles per hour out to left center, and then it moves over to right center, and then it moves over to straight center. But the wind is blowing out, and Ballpark Palace is very offensive. Plus 31% overall runs. Very offensive. Plus 27% homers, plus 21% doubles and triples, plus 17% singles. Except you have both squads that are the two worst teams in Major League Baseball over 30 days against lefties. Rockies 202, 580 OPS. Giants for lefties 203, 585 OPS. AM says Kyle Harrison has one started Coors. He pitched a gem. I remember it. I'm actually a big Kyle Harrison fan, and he's cost me more money than any pitcher, I think, in baseball last 2 years.
This is the opposite side of the coin when it comes to these young pitchers that you love.
He has hurt me badly. But here, I don't know. Like, look at Carson Palmquist. Carson Palmquist has terrible numbers, sure. But he's only faced 4 teams in Major League Baseball. The Arizona Diamondbacks, the Philadelphia Phillies, the Chicago Cubs, and the New York Mets. Now they face the Giants, who aren't hitting at all. This, to me, the Giants' bullpen's been phenomenal. Rockies' bullpen's been okay. I don't know if I am capable of trying to mess with this when the weather is so offensive, but I want to so badly. This total is an 11.5. Opened up at 11.5, dropped to 11 for a little bit. It's at 11.5 right now. 6 cents of movement towards the under. And then, looking at my bookie here, they've moved it to 11 from 11.5. They dropped it a half run. So anybody wants to bet the over, is this the only 11 on the, it's only 11 at a reputable book on the board. And, I told you guys, the guy who runs that sports book is a very good gambler who is going to beat you. And if you beat him, he will immediately kick you out. And so now he's offering anybody who wants the over to come to his book and bet it.
Which book are you talking about, Jim?
My bookie. So I think I'm with Truth Teller, but I'm nervous about it, and I want to hear from you guys. I am nervous about it. So we've talked about the total. Let's talk about the money line. On a money line side of things, we have the Giants right now at minus 201. They opened up at minus 211. So we've had a move towards the Colorado Rockies. And when we get to the cash flow for Colorado, San Francisco, we have 79% of the tickets and 95% of cash on the under. That's nuts. 75% of the tickets are on the Giants, but just 50% of the cash. Palmquist is going to pitch well here. And AM says, yes, I capped this as an under. Kyle Harrison has shown the ability to pitch at Coors. Both pitchers facing weak lineups. Low pressure increases as the game goes on. Low humidity, temp in the mid-70s. Rye Cape on the under as well. Justin Biller, hit me on X. Prefer to talk about that stuff. All we want to really promote is Pub Sports Radio here. Jose Bouquet, take it away.
I've got no action. I'll make it quick. The under looks that you guys are mentioning seem appealing, but I'll stay off. Try to conserve some action for me.
Mr. Loshak.
Well, it was, Palmquist to get hit was the obvious way to think, or runs, outs, race to whatever. But I did want to look into it a little bit more, see where the market moved. You're saying you're seeing reasons to believe that Palmquist can have a nice start, because I'm not really seeing that. I mean, I don't see the reasons. I'm not saying they're not there.
No, you're right. His numbers are horrifying. I'm just saying he's pitched against the Diamondbacks, the Phillies, the Cubs, and the Mets, and now he faces a Giants team that's hitting 203 with a 585 OPS versus lefties, and he's home.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, the numbers don't indicate he'll pitch well. You're right.
I think this is going to be a fascinating game to watch. Just if Carson Palmquist can actually do it at home, and if Kyle Harrison can match his last appearance.
I just don't know exactly. I guess, listening to AM and the strength of the Giants bullpen of late, not quite the same with the Rockies, but it hasn't been that bad. Actually, can you give me a bullpen health fatigue breakdown?
Sure. Let me grab it right now. Colorado, all the way at the bottom here. Fresh bullpen day off yesterday. All of them threw a good amount on Sunday, but a day off yesterday. Probably will have them all ready to go today. And as for the Giants, day off yesterday as well, but as well pretty rested. Duvall for 17 pitches. Rockies a little more concerning. It's 23 pitches and 18 from their closer and setup man, but both teams had a day off yesterday, so I think they should both be ready to go.
I like it. For example, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really work. But the under 3.5 first three, I kind of like. Jerry Davis says Palmquist expected numbers are way better than actual numbers. God, I want to be. Well, I don't know if I have the balls to double up on it. And if I don't double up on it, I guess I should just take the full game. But I kind of want to double up on it. I just, again, I'll figure out if I can press the fucking button. Spooner says Coors unders exist only for me with temps under 65 miles per hour. Or sorry, 65 Fahrenheit. Jesus Christ, I'm just fucking. Baseball just turns me into a shaky mess, man. There's so many elements that go into a game here. I would like to take a look at these Rockies home games of late. So against the Mets, 2 of the 3 went under. Against the Yankees, 2 of the 3 went under. Against the Phillies, 2 of the 4 went under. Yeah, I don't know if I double down, but I do. I'm going to be on the under, and I guess it'll just be the full game, 11.5. I am kind of interested in that first 3 under 3.5, though. So let's roll on. And nothing for you guys, right, Pete? Nothing for you?
Yes, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Oakland Athletics 26-42, 14-19 away at the LA Angels 31-34, 13-16 at home Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Mitch Spence wants to be a starter, and Jose Soriano's numbers at home are absolute madness. Absolute madness. Mally Mal says, who's tracking the good old Coors Field fade? You would lose your shirt this year, Mally Mal, because the Rockies would be the dog, and they've have the worst record we've ever seen in Major League Baseball. So we're not tracking it, and we're not betting it. But this would just be the wrong year. True Teller says he likes the Angels spot, but can't bet them. Listen to Jose Soriano at home. This is a really good pitcher in my estimation, who's coming off getting lit up at the Red Sox. But at home, opponents hitting .337 against him. He's allowed 34 hits and 24 in a third. He's not getting hit for a ton of power. That's the weird thing. Like righties are hitting .292 against him, but just 700 OPS. He's allowed 34 hits. Just 3 of them have been home runs. I think when we were talking about, was it Shane? We were talking about another pitcher today who's allowed 4 earned runs and 3 home runs on the road. This is different. At home, he's only allowed 3 home runs, but he's getting absolutely pulverized. A's are hitting right now, 257, 779 OPS versus righties, but so are the Angels, 241, 743. The A's bullpen is still absolute trash. It's the Angels bullpen that's being quite good. Nacho Cheese Dip says over 9 easy, should be an 11. Because I like Mitch Spence. I think he's going to try to force his way into the starting rotation, which shouldn't be too difficult with how bad this rotation's been. And he's getting righties out 206, 567 OPS. It's lefties that hurt him. And we've done this before. It's Sean O'Well and maybe Rengifo, the switch he hits from the left side. This is the perfect lineup to go up against if you're getting hit by lefties. The only question is, do we expect the Soriano bounce back? I mean, that's really the only concern in this breakdown. 75 Fahrenheit, 6.3 miles per hour to center, dies down to 5.4 miles per hour. We go to Ballpark Pal. They have Angel Stadium plus 4%, plus 17% home runs, but minus 4 doubles and triples, and minus 2 singles. So line history, and then we'll hand it over to the fellas. We have the Angels at minus 139. They open up at minus 155. It's a clear example of the A's being very live. And then from a total standpoint here, we have the 9. It's slightly juiced to the over, while all the books I'm looking at are juiced to the under, but not here. We have moved 11 cents towards the over, but we're still hanging a 9. And when we get to the cash flow, we have 62% of the tickets on the Angels, but 79% cash on the A's. 54% of the tickets on the under, but 54% cash on the over. Mr. Bouquet, take it away.
Oakland A's for me, I think, is going to be on my card. Here, I'm trying desperately not to bet too much in a day, trying to keep my action limited a little bit. But 79% of bets of the money on one side, the line moving towards it. Spence Spoons mentioned in here as well. Spence pitched 3 times against the Angels and pitched well against them last year. He's comfortable, and the Angels have no lefties. He also goes on to say, Wine Time Sports also saying that this is a athletic spot here, so I'll join you guys. A's money line, full game will be on my card.
It's a 15-cent difference for the first 5. That way I stay away from the A's bullpen. But then I'm betting that Soriano doesn't bounce back, which is fine. Ricky Levine talking about Soriano's home stats. Let's hear from you, Peter Loshak, A's, Angels.
I don't have much on this. How deep is Spence expected to go? I think he's expected to go like 3 or 4, though, right? Like, he's not an opener exactly.
No, but I think he's very close to being stretched out. They're stretching him as over the last little while. They want him to start.
I mean, in general, I'm kind of high on Spence, low on Beto, so that made my my cap of this a little bit. And I don't like to bet strikeout props unless I have a pretty, feel like I have a good grasp on the length of his start, and if it's shorter or longer than expected, why that would be. So I do kind of like Spence a little bit. Maybe maybe bet on the A's if and when Spence comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, his strikeout prop is 3.5 juice to the over, but I'm not seeing an outs prop, so that means that's got to be like 4 innings.
Because the books aren't sure how stretched out he is. Or right. No, they must be if they're giving out the 3.5 Ks. They have an idea.
Right. It's going to be about 4 innings or so.
Mm-hmm. Well, so is there any concern that Soriano bounces back? He's a pitcher that at times he looks like he's got such nasty stuff.
Yeah, there's always a concern. He doesn't really get strikeouts, though.
Well, maybe it's not a double up, but I certainly want to be on the Oakland A's, and I want to stay away from the A's bullpen. Would that mean that I skip the first 5 and take it right to a first 3?
Yeah, why not? I might do that. Spence is all right?
It's just the price is so wildly different. I mean, you got plus 120. Now, this is a 365. You get better lines, but you get plus 125 full game. You get plus 110 first 5, minus 105 first 3.
For what? For Sacramento, for the A's?
Yeah. So now you can get much better lines than that. That's just 365.
I mean, if you want to bet them, that's telling you you're doing the right thing, right?
Yes, but I mean, in my notes here, I have A's first 3 and first 5. I just don't know if I can trust that. Wine Time, we need to know more of your thoughts in this spot, man. I know it says busy day at work. It says this is an athletic spot. Okay, I just, maybe it's not quite double up worthy. Wine Time, what the hell's going on with Soriano at home? Do you expect to bounce back here? I mean,
guys like Soriano, ground ball pitchers tend to have high volatility. You know what I mean? So, 7-inning shutout starts, interspersed with, 4-inning, 5-run starts are not, are to be expected.
Well, I'm going to have something on them, whether it be first 3 or first 5. I will make that decision. I guess I'm sort of leaning towards the first 3, but I hate to give any vig out. So that will be me, Mitch Spence. I'll be back. I can understand you guys moving on the over, but I just want to back Mitch Spence here. He hasn't had a road start, but he's pitched in 11 games, and he's been great. 226 points batting average. He's allowed 1 home run in 25 innings, allowed just 7 earned runs, great K to walk ratio. He's doing everything right. He's doing everything right.
No idea how deep he's going?
Well, my guess would be 4 to 5 innings.
60 pitches? What are they saying?
No, he can go more than that. Let me just go over what he just did here very, very quickly.
His last start was like 60.
Yeah, but he's just getting rolling. That was his first opportunity to, that was his first start of the year. I mean, he had been. You're right. Yeah, I mean, I guess
right, we're gonna take the Spence over 3.5. We'll do it. And if we get burned, okay, I'm gonna take it. 3.5 minus 140. I'll shop around to see if I can get better, but I think that's all right.
And who exactly is we, Peter? Just
what?
For our own. Who is we when you speak like that? Just for our own information.
You think I'm just gonna say it on fucking the live stream? Just let's say it. No.
All right.
Okay.
He's a private man.
Wine Time says, I like Soriano. I think the market is very telling in this game. Can we trust the Angels to score 4 runs tonight? I don't know. Spooner says 65 pitches tops. All right, let's roll on. 9:40 p.m. Eastern with the LA Dodgers, 40-27, 17-16 on the road at the San Diego Padres, 37-28, 20-11 at home. Perky taking the Angels on the run line there. JW on the A's and the under 9. We have Dylan Cease against whom is the question. Matt Sauer is expected. Do we expect him to be in there?
I guess. I'm not sure.
Okay, can you take a look at Matt Sauer here? I don't have his stats here on my worksheet. Cheshire Cat says Dodgers roll. And Rem Most is not even entirely certain that his real name is Pete.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. People have been watching that. Good point.
Okay, we have Robert Cherry leading to the A's and the over. Dougie White says Padres' first 5 might be a look here. 3-2 loss at the Giants. Dylan Cease's last start. That was one of the rare times where the first 3 really screwed me. All 5 of the runs in that game were scored in the 3rd inning. Dylan Cease 1 and 5. Oh, Nasty Nate says we is Pete and I.
What did he say? Nasty Nate's always fucking chopping me down.
No, he says that it's him.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yes. So, who is I?
I is Nate. All right, let's just move forward. Dylan Cease, 1 and 5, 4.72 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, 85 strikeouts in 68 2/3. His last start, he led those 3 runs at San Francisco in great pitching conditions. Slow Jam says Padres 2-8 against the Dodgers. I think it was Dougie White. Was it Dougie White? Who was Dougie White earlier saying, the Dodgers just have the Padres number? I think it was you, Dougie White. Don't mean to put words in your mouth. At home, Cease has been good. Quite a bit better at home than on the road. He's allowed 13 earned runs over 32 innings, 258 opponents batting average. Splits are strong. And the Padres are not hitting at all. I know they hit last night. But over the last 30 days, just 228 with a 655 OPS. And Bobby Miller starting today at some level for the Dodgers organization today. For Real MMA, it says, is Billy coming in for WNBA? No, For Real MMA, Billy will be here tomorrow for WNBA. The Dodgers bullpen 4.18 ERA over the last 30 days, while the Padres 3.40. And this bullpen was a real problem there for a little while. Let's get into the weather here in San Diego. 68 Fahrenheit, 5.4 miles per hour left to right, very slightly out, between 5.4 and 3.6 miles per hour. Let's get to Ballpark Pal. Ballpark Pal has Petco as the least offensive ballpark, minus 7% overall, minus 3% homers, minus 9% doubles and triples, and minus 5% singles. If it is Matt Sauer, this bullpen's been a little better of late. I mean, is it going to be a full bullpen day? We'll get Jose's take on that here very, very shortly. Let's go through the line history. We just see this total at 8.5 minus 115 to the under. It just moved up. Oh, it didn't just. Oh, yes, it did. 19 minutes ago, this moved up to 8.5. So I'm looking at 8s everywhere else. If you do like the over in this game, I would, and your book's hanging an 8, I'd probably bet it now. It seems like 8.5s are on the way. You have Cease and the Padres minus 122. They open up minus 105, 17 cents of movement towards the San Diego Padres. And then when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have no help, none whatsoever. Jose Buquette, do you think it's Matt Sauer?
I guess so. I mean, Sauer hasn't thrown since the 23rd of last month, so they're probably going to call him back up. Well, actually, he hasn't thrown in the majors. He threw on June 3rd, so 7 full days of rest, 4 2/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. He went 3 innings, 2 innings, 4 innings in the majors, so probably 3-4 innings, 5 if they're lucky. But I'm not a big fan, if I'm being honest.
We hope that you'll be honest here with us. BJ's best bet is on the Padres.
I tried.
It's not Bobby Miller. But I don't know if we can officially say that. There was people last night that thought it was going to be Bobby Miller. Those people who have tweeted out haven't said I was right. Look, it's Bobby Miller. So I guess it's still up in the air. Mr. Loshak, your thoughts?
Yeah, this one I didn't look at because there was no starting pitcher, didn't have a line, and haven't looked at it yet. Sorry about that.
No problem. No problem. Okay. I guess we need to wait for more information, but maybe it's not needed. Maybe we just back Cease. If that's the case, I'm always worried backing the Padres against the Dodgers. And, well, I shouldn't say always. There was 2 years ago or when it was the Padres just destroyed them. But, minus 120 for the Padres full game. And then first 5 is minus 122. It's no advantage. All right, let's go into the Mariners Diamondbacks here. Big Zoe says, how old is Peter Loshak? Over under 49.5. Jose, would you be on the over or the under?
I would be on the over.
Are you talking about my chronological age or my biological age? 2 different things.
I'm talking about how you feel, Pete.
Oh, how I feel, like 19, like a sophomore in college.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. What about chronologically?
No, more like 23. I feel like 23, 24.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, not 19. That's
wow.
That would be a little more weird, but I'm glad that you're alive.
I meet 19-year-olds. I'm like, yeah, I'm more mature than you. Like 23, 24, 25.
Wow. Is anybody? So Spooner thinks Bobby Miller is starting here. Does anyone else think he is? Okay. I'm okay. Well, Spooner thinks Bobby Miller is. He says Fangraphs hadn't listed as the probable. Interesting. Okay.
What's your celestial age, Pete?
40,000, something like that, roughly.
AM is on the over 9 in this Mariners Diamondbacks game. This is our final game on the MLB board before we get into our 2 spots in the Commissioner's Cup. We have Logan Evans going up against Brandon Pfaadt. Brandon Pfaadt has been absolutely lit up and smoked in back-to-back starts. And Logan Evans is not. Logan Evans looks very good. 3-1, 2.83 ERA, 1.26 whip. Last start, 9-1 win at home versus the Nats. He went 8 innings, allowed 1 earned run. It was a solo shot. On the road, he's allowed 5 earned runs, 17 innings. He's been fine. In his splits at this point, it's righties that have been hitting him. 274, 818 OPS. And there's some righties. Ketel Marte and Perdomo are switchies. And Suarez, Gurriel, and Moreno. And more. I have a lot of depth here. Spooner on the Diamondbacks money line. Stacks play day number 2. Cal Raleigh, RBI at plus 115. So here we go. Pfaadt at home, 14 earned runs, over 30 and a third. He hasn't been that horrific there, but the splits have become terrible. The Diamondbacks are raking against righties, and the Mariners can't hit them. I looked at the Mariners' 33 and 32 record, and I thought Thankfully, I listened to Jose about the Mariners' futures. Mariners bullpen has been a problem too all of a sudden, and the Diamondbacks bullpen has been horrific all season long. Ronnie Lofton knows this Diamondbacks team inside and out. Marte, Carroll, Naylor props have been profitable all season. Justin McKelvey, Diamondbacks over 9 minus 105 here. Cheshire says, I can't tell if that's Jose's leg or a breadstick. Nasty Nate saying it's definitely a breadstick. Let's take a look. Oh, of course, the roof is going to be closed. I mean, we don't need to worry about that. But let's take a look at the line history here. For our final spot on the board before the WNBA, we have the Diamondbacks minus 124. They opened up at minus or plus 101. That's a huge move. Damn. 25-cent move towards Brandon Pfaadt and the Diamondbacks. God, that's nuts. This total is a 9.5. Opened up at 9, and it went down to 8.5 at first. God, that's wild. And now we've gone up a full run. That is absolutely nuts. And now look at the cash flow for our final spot on the board. We have 54% of the tickets and 68% of cash on the Mariners, 50% of the tickets and 78% of cash on the over. Mr. Bouquet, take it away.
Yeah, and I saw this was supposed to be Brian Wu, and they made a change. I don't exactly know what time that change was. It maybe affected the line a little bit. But the line movement in this game is just kind of, I don't know, overwhelming. I'm trying to find the right word for it. Right word for it. But it seems like the Diamondbacks are the play. Brandon Pfaadt has been a guy in my rotation for the last year or so. I like Brandon Pfaadt, especially in the postseason. But I'll mention this. I believe it was Zach Gallen last night. So the reporters said, we all have to play better. We all have to play better because if we don't, a lot of us aren't going to be here in August, is what he said. And I think that, Zach Gallen, obviously a big leadership guy in that clubhouse and, probably referring to himself most likely. I think that he can get that urgency up in the Diamondbacks clubhouse, and there'll be a more sense of urgency to get this shit done. So Diamondbacks for me, I think is going to be, Diamondbacks nothing, obviously. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to bet the money line or what the deal is. But yeah, Diamondbacks for me.
I would like to join on that spot as well. Very much so.
Who follows Arizona Diamondbacks super closely?
Our friend Ron Lofton.
Okay, Ron Lofton, what is up with Pfaadt then? Is he about to be, about to go on the injured list? Or is he going to bounce back because his props are indicating he's going to bounce back at least a bit? I'm thinking this guy is, injured. He's going on the DL, if not after this start, in the next few weeks. But you think that Pfaadt is just hitting a few major speed bumps and due for some at least modest positive regression?
I do. Maybe I can move on the over in this game. I saw someone else like the over. 53% of the bets are on the under, 77% of the money on the over. I'm seeing this opened up at a 9. Juice to the under is now 9.5. I see also my local at least says that this line opened up at minus 125 when the pitching change was made for me. So maybe that line movement is indeed more pitching change than bet amounts and such. So I'm listening here, Pete. I'm listening.
Ronnie Lofton says Diamondbacks first 5 might make my card. I expect better from Pfaadt.
First 5. Wow.
Yeah.
The Diamondbacks team total is another bet I looked at. 4.5 minus 125. I didn't love. And I would love to get a 9 here instead of a 9.5 is the shitty part about this.
JW on the other side, Seattle plus 105, Seattle team total over 4.5. I'm going to trust the market here. I'm going to back Pfaadt.
Really?
I'm going to back. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to back him first 5. I think that despite the Diamondbacks bullpen being bad, so is the Mariners. Not as bad, but if I get the sticks from Arizona, I'll take them for 9 innings here. So,
both these bullpens are a bit suspect, aren't they?
Yes, and I just have the ERA last 3 days. I didn't get to the WHIP today. Diamondback.
Arizona, by the way, bullpen. Good Lord. 19 pitches from Justin Miller, Martinez, their closer. Shelby Miller, 9. Jalen Beeks, 12. Ryan Thompson threw literally 1. Jeff Brigham, 15. Kyle Backus, 15. Juan Murillo, 23. Literally everyone except for one guy win yesterday.
All right. Ron Lofton, I have another question. Is there any bounce back from Fott? Fine. Is he going to be close to lights out, though? Is that a possibility?
I think he pitches well here. I'm gonna indeed join you. Well, you join me, I join you. Whatever the case is, put my money where my mouth is as well, and take the full game Diamondbacks minus 127. Do I love that their bullpen is exhausted? No, but I think we do get a big Brandon Pfaadt performance here.
You do?
Yeah, I think he's just a good. He got paid. I forget when it was exactly, but he got paid. Diamondbacks brass trusts him. Guy we've seen in the postseason, big game pitcher. He struggled in the postseason before plenty of times and has figured it out. So I trust Pfaadt. I do.
But the D-backs pen is suspect, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't trust them. There we're playing roulette. So
Can't stop.
127 for me.
Can't stop, says AC. Says, I like when everyone's on the over. I'm going on the under 8.5. You can bet that at 9.5 if you prefer. Can't stop, AC. But look, I'm not going to tell you what to do. All right.
Well, I'll take. I feel like I've done well betting with the Arizona props, but I feel like in the show I've lost with them. But I'm going to take. I'll take 2. I'll take. I think at least Marte and Perdomo over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, and maybe I'll add. I think I'll just stick with those 2.
Well, J-Dub also on Seattle, but I'm going to move here on the Diamondbacks. Let's review all action here on this Major League Baseball card. As we get more time just to focus solely on baseball, and we really only have 9 or 10 more weeks before college football is back. But here, the first 5 games, the market was absolutely madness to me. So I'm interested in the first 3 under 3 in the Tigers Orioles, and I think it's quite possible that I get there. Then it's Orioles or nothing and Guardians or nothing. Jerry Davis, I think the story is that he's been tipping his pitches. Obviously, some of us, like myself, have a vividness bias of him being the most trusted pitcher on that entire staff in the playoffs. In the most important games in this franchise's history. Well, I should say history. They're 2001 champs, aren't they? Well, but
yes.
In the last 10 years, in the most important games in their history, they wanted Pfaadt on the mound. So, but again, that could easily be me just having a vividness bias here. So I've got to sit with this Orioles spot. TC gave his play today on the Tigers. I need to sit with it and hammer it. Then it's Guardians or nothing. And I really got to figure out if I have the conviction to move on it. The first 3 under 2.5 in Miami, Pittsburgh. I expect to be on the Chicago Cubs, but I might want to wait until Abel's out and bet it live. I'll make that decision here after the show ends. I have interest in the first 3 under in Boston with Pepio and Giolito. Again, I'm going to need more time there. Then things slow down for me. I do like the first 3 under in Atlanta, Milwaukee. I'm going to be on the Twins for sure. I just got to figure out exactly how I want to bet it. And speaking of transfers, because you didn't give him a chance. Wow, 21-12. That's a pretty wild message here. The Panthers are the defending Stanley Cup champions and are a great hockey team. Yes, I didn't hedge. I'm trying to win as much money as I can on the Oilers. The fact that you're black has absolutely nothing to do with anything. But 305 all day. It's a very strange message, 2112. You think race had to do with the fact that I was on the Oilers? Okay. I'm going to be on the cards with Jose. First 3 under 2 in White Sox Astros. The under 11.5 in Giants Rockies. I may have the first 3 under 3.5. A's first 3 and first 5. Looks like I'm going to have a ton of action in the Diamondbacks. Mr. Jose Bouquet, please review your action.
Sure. I have officially Cubs full game -107, Red Sox full game -107, Nationals first 5 even money, Cardinals full game -113, Chicago White Sox +0.5 -120 in the first 5 innings, A's full game money line +129, and Arizona Diamondbacks -127. Bonus play for the people out there. Venezuela +1 -105 against Uruguay today.
All right. I like it. Mr. Loshak, your action.
Venezuela. I think I took the under in that first half under pretty big. All right. Okay, here we go. And these are lines that I shopped during the show. All right, we got a lot. I'll just run them down. Herder over 1.5 strikeouts -170. Torres over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs -125. Cincinnati game, Abbott over 17.5 outs +100. Friedel over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs -110. And De La Cruz hits, runs, RBIs -125. Keller under 2.5 earned runs -113 and under 6.5 hits -158. Gore over 17.5 outs -110. Sharp book had that. We'll see. Priester under 5.5 hits -145. And Holmes over 16.5 outs -105. We'll see. Then Woods Richardson over 4.5 strikeouts +104. Then the Toronto St. Louis game. Hope I'm right about this. I did take the over 8 -118. Bassett under 17.5 outs at +115. And then Donovan and Contreras hits, runs, and RBI. So hopefully Bassett gets hit. Donovan is -125 and Contreras -114. Spence over 3.5 strikeouts -140. And in the Arizona game, I guess I'll take Marte, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs -140. And Perdomo hits, runs, RBIs -115. Tempting to take Naylor at 2.5 at plus money, but I guess I'll hold off.
Well, it is now time to move on to the WNBA. And I was all over, just before we say bid adieu to Jose, who will be back to close up the show, I was heavy on the Panthers last year. And look, if I'm wrong, that, if the Panthers win the Stanley Cup, that happens. You are what you are over an entire season. And every year in front of you guys, every year I beat the National Hockey League. And I want to more than any other sport because I know you guys really trust me and believe in me. And I want to deliver for you guys. But when we're not on the same page, it's all good. Like it's, and if you were right and I'm wrong, congratulations. That's going to happen. And it won't be the last time that you are right and I'm wrong. That's part of capping sports. So, I'm excited for the rest of this series. I'm very excited to cap with all of you guys. And I enjoy this very, very much. And so if the Panthers win the cup, it's good for hockey. Dynasties are good for sports. And that's what the Panthers are creating. That's what Bill Zito's created. And, it is what it is. It's if I'm wrong, I'll sit here and look you guys in the eyes and say, look, I was wrong. You guys were right. And you guys have been richly rewarded. That's what this is. I'm not going to say you're going to be right every time. I have made a lot of money on the Oilers through this playoffs. I'm very thankful for that money. And if in the end I should have hedged with the Panthers, it'll be a lesson that I have to learn. That's just the way it works. So
I look forward to betting the Oilers in Game 4.
This series has made me sick. Watching every it's been horrifying. I've not enjoyed it at all, even though the hockey's been great. I just feel sick. I'm alone in the
AIPP?
Say what?
A little AIPP?
No, Jimmy doesn't suffer from that, to his great credit.
Well, it sounds like he might be suffering from it right now. I don't know.
No, I do suffer from it. I mean, I have so many people that have been riding with me through this run with the Oilers, and I want them to succeed. That's all. I want them to succeed.
You are not alone.
Thank you.
As Jose will get know that tune before his time.
All right, it is time to get into WNBA here. Jose, do you want to hang with us for this, or you want to come back in action?
No, Pete has to go in like fucking 20 minutes. I'll slow us down with my nonsense. So I'll see you guys in a bit.
Okay, well, let's roll, Pete. I found these games so interesting. Let's go to work here. 7:30 p.m. Eastern with the Indiana Fever at the Atlanta Dream, Gateway Center, College Park in Georgia. The question I had to ask myself is when this line started moving, was there people who at what? Because I know that some articles out there have like, oh, Caitlin Clark is returning today, even though it was pretty clear, I think at a pretty early time yesterday that, we were told that Caitlin Clark was not returning. When I first looked at this matchup, I immediately thought, wow, Atlanta off the loss. Atlanta's been sitting around doing very little. This should be a great spot for them to attack. I was surprised that the line initially went to Indiana. And and you don't get that. You get a slight idea of that from the offshore that we use that didn't come out until 11:17 p.m. last night. I guess they needed to know what was happening with Caitlin Clark. But they opened this up at 5.5, and it moves to 5 here. It moves to 5, and then it gets back to 5.5. So we have, no movement at all. In fact, just a tightening of VIG. If we go to the site where we used to play poker at, they had wild movement in this game. Now, this came out at 8:39 p.m. The line came out at 4.5, and at 11:14 p.m. it was 3.5. Can anybody confirm when we knew that Caitlin Clark wasn't going to be playing? Because I felt like we knew at that time. And if we already knew, I think that market move towards the Indiana Fever is extremely interesting because we all know what this team looked like at first without Caitlin Clark. And we all know what Atlanta's looked like throughout the season, more than the sum of their parts. So if my first look, just looking at these two teams, was Atlanta, but the line moving towards Indiana, I just had to kind of figure out whether or not that was solely to do with Caitlin Clark and some people believing that she was going to be in. This total opened up at 164.5. It dropped 163.5, got up to 164.5. It bounced up to 160. It was at 164.5 at 7 this morning. So the move down to 161 has had nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. We know that. So here we go. Fever come in off their second straight win, 79-52 at the Sky on Saturday. Let's get into the cash flow here. And Coin says the total suggests she isn't playing. Well, we know it's been confirmed that she's not playing. I think it's been confirmed for all of us. I mean, 74% of the because I want to fade Indiana when Caitlin Clark comes back. 74% of the tickets, 83% of the cash on Atlanta. Again, that makes me still want to be involved with the Fever. 79% of the tickets, 89% of cash on the under. Mr. Belvedere is on the Dream here. I mean, that was my first thought as well. By the way, I know that our records aren't up here, but if they aren't up in the next game, we'll go over them here. Jerry Davis is on the Dream and under. I have not seen one person on the Fever, and so I find the Fever very appealing. Mally Mal, there we go. That's the first time I've seen on the Fever here. So we have the quad injury with Caitlin Clark. So Kelsey Mitchell has been leading the way offensively, 17.4 points per game. Aaliyah Boston is going to have a tough time, getting her rebounds, of course, with Brittany Griner on the other side. Natasha Howard has stepped up. Lexi Hull has stepped up. They've all stepped up. Natasha Howard, 11.5 points, 6 boards. Lexi Hull averaging 10.5 points per game. The Dream had their 4-game winning streak snapped in that 84-76 loss at Connecticut. It was the end of a 3-game road trip. You say, everyone just, talking about Carl Smesko as if he's this ingenious. I mean, he's been very good. They're averaging 84.6 points per game. That's second in the league, third in offensive rating. Alicia Gray was player of the month in May. She's averaging 20.1 points per game, shooting 42.9% from three. I mean, she's been very good. Ryan Howard, 17.6 points per game. They also combined for 9.6 assists. Then you have Griner and Brianna Jones, banging inside. Both are averaging 13 points per game, and they combine for 15.2 rebounds. With all of this said and done, Justin on the Fever plus 5.5. Okay, very, very interesting. Rye Cape saying Indiana's going to struggle in the paint. If Atlanta's hitting their threes, it's curtains for the Fever. I think that this line and this not moving towards the dream with all the money on the dream is very, 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 makes them very appealing to me. But both of these spots I thought were tricky. And you could say that the Sky Liberty is not tricky at all. I think it is tricky, and the market has told us that. So take it away, Peter. What are your thoughts?
Sorry, I was just looking at the closing lines for the UEFA qualifiers that just went off at 2:45 Eastern. This one. Sorry, this game I had nothing on. Obviously, kind of a high total, but Indiana has now had two nice covers as a fave, and they're scoring. So yeah, I was I had nothing on this one. I assumed that the play that I would make based on just the spot would be Atlanta minus the points, but I definitely didn't bet it. We're at minus 4.5. Where is it now?
Is that 5 or 5.5?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean,
I think this is extremely fishy, and it's pushing me towards the Fever, whom I want to fade. The first game, Caitlin Clark is back. The Fever have improved every single game without Caitlin Clark. They've gotten better and better and better, and now they have their rhythm and their flow. I don't know if I can get there at this point. Will Johnson says 500 on Fever money line at plus 160. Maybe that's what I needed to see. Will, this is a Fever or no bet for me. With everybody on Atlanta, and my first thought to be on Atlanta. So, Jerry Davis said this opened at 3.5. Jerry, I mean, if you could tell me the book, I mean, we're all going to look at these books differently. And what books do you follow? Do you follow the offshores, or do you follow the legal American books? I don't have of the offshores. If you could give me the time, that would help too. 8:39 p.m. where we used to play poker. Open this up at 4.5 at a pick'em. The book that I really like that was down in Costa Rica. Open this up at 6:47 p.m. at 4.5. Heritage opened this up at 2:15 p.m. yesterday at 4.5. So AM says Circa opened it at 3. What time? I would love to know if someone give me a time, because I don't have one offshore opening it up below 4.5, not one. And let's see. Oh, look at that. Will Hill opened it up. How could they have done that? It says that doesn't make any sense. I don't believe that number. Okay, wait. I'm saying sorry. Circa opened it at 4 at 8:30 p.m. No, don't worry. It's all good. It's all good. Joseph Gomez says DraftKings opened it a day early at 2.5. Okay. I mean, I've got lots more to think about here. If I believe that the line has moved so far, and Justin McKelvey says, I know Capro got the dream minus 130. Wow. Okay. I mean, that's no. I trust that. Don't worry, Justin. You don't need that. That gives me a lot of food for thought. I'll put some question marks beside the Fever. But this is one-way traffic with everybody on the dream. And Rye Cape got at 2.5 on Monday morning. Wow. Very thankful. Thank you, guys. Let's go into game 2 here, Peter. Chicago Sky, New York Liberty. This is another game where we've seen a lot of line movement. And the surprising thing was the buyback towards Chicago. This opens up at 17 at 11:19 p.m. last night. 17. By 12:40, it's a 17.5. By 114, it's 18. By 737, it's 18 and a half. 738, it's 19. By 741, it's 19 and a half. There's the high water mark. Now we're back at 17, and this even went down to 16 and a half. That's wild. That's wild movement. From a total perspective, we have a 164 and a half. This opened up at 167 and a half. So let's roll. Mally Mal says Sabrina's going to go off. She played terrible last game. The Liberty come off. You know, the losses I've had have bothered me so much. I had the Mystics first half and full game. My plan was to be on them first quarter and full game, but I flipped it late and moved first half full game. They won outright the first quarter by 5 points. Then they get destroyed 32-12 in the second quarter. I lose the first half. They come back and cash the full game for me. Very, very disappointing. The Sky had their modest 2-game winning streak snapped, and very modest. I mean, they beat the Wings back-to-back home and home. 79-52 home versus the Fever on Saturday, and they lose Courtney Vandersloot to the torn ACL in the right knee. And, you know, they are in a tough spot. It's going to be Haley Van Lith, the rookie guard who will be taking over running the point. Things are going to be very difficult for this guy moving forward. They're second last in offensive rating. They're shooting 39.9% from the field, and that's with Vandersloot. So now they have this rookie, Haley Van Lith. Their offense is bad, and their defense may be worse. No team allows more than no team allows more than the 90 points per game that they allow. The Liberty coming off that underwhelming 86-78 victory at Washington is 12.5-point favorites on Thursday. It worked out, you know, exactly what I said to you guys. When you see a team beat another team by 48 points, you should see dollar signs. If you back Connecticut in the next game that they played, they covered. If you faded New York in the next game they played, it worked too. I mean, it's just what you do when there's these huge 50-point wins in any, you know, NBA or WNBA. Brianna Stewart goes for 26 and 11. Look, this team is so tough. Lead the league in points per game at 91.1, offensive rating at 115, field goal percentage at 47.8. I doubled up fading them after that 48-point win. I want to fade the best teams in the league when I don't think that they're totally locked in. I can't really say that about this spot. So then what could I say? Why would I back this guy? It's because I think that in their first game, without their star who's hurt, I think everybody steps up. But do you want to risk your money back in the Chicago Sky against, you know, the defending champions? Is a very difficult thing to figure out. Take it away for us here, Mr. Loshak, Sky Liberty.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing about this one is that, I mean, normally I'd just be looking at this and be thinking, you know, do the old team total over for the Liberty, you know, trying to get some excitement for the league, put up 90 again. But Jonquel Jones, big scorer, hits 40% from three, has an ankle injury that, you know, could limit her. So that's
but she's expected to be back. Is that right?
Yeah, but you don't know how limited. I mean, you know, it's they want to put up a whole bunch of points at home, but I'm sure they don't want to push her beyond, you know, for a regular season game. So, you know, all things being equal, I'd say chuck it again on Liberty team total over 90.5. But because of Jones, not so sure about that.
What do you think of this line going from 17 to 19.5 back to 17?
You know, it might be Jones news. I'm not really sure, you know.
61% of the tickets and 71% of the cash on the Liberty. That means that, for, you know, money's come in on Chicago.
Yeah. We'll see where it closes, you know.
I'm interested in Chicago. I had interest in the Fever in Chicago. Do I want to be on these road dogs? I was like, you know what? You got to talk it out with everybody and decide if it's worth it here. I guess I like this guy first quarter. I think that they could be, you know, the Liberty could just look right past them here. Jerry Davis said he wanted the Liberty team total over as well. Rye Cape on the Sky team total under. JW on the whole game going under 165.5. I mean, if this was the NBA, I'd be on the Sky. Why should I treat it any different? Because it's the WNBA. Your star player's out. everybody steps up in that situation. I don't see why I would handle it differently. It's because I'm afraid, because I've watched how bad this guy look. Andrew G says Liberty have twice the team. That's my worry. It'll be more than that. But that first game without your star, the under 165.5. Now, Pete, when you were with us last Tuesday, you doubled up on the under, and I joined you. You doubled up on the Washington, Indiana under. First half and full game. We cashed the full game by a hook, but we dominated that first half. Do you not find this Liberty Sky spot appealing, or do you think it's moved too far now?
It's just there's too many unknowns here, throwing in a massive spread. Just too many unknowns.
Okay.
No WNBA picks for me this week.
Okay. Well, at this point, I need to sit with this, with you guys getting the. I think that I'm not in the black. It's hard for me to get too confident on any spot, but I'm interested in the Fever full game. I just wish Atlanta wasn't coming off of a loss at Connecticut. I mean, that was just embarrassing. And then I'm interested in the Sky first quarter. But I need to sit with this for longer. I am nervous about backing these spots. But, I mean, of course I'm nervous about backing dogs, so.
Okay. I kind of got to run, Jim. Is that all right, baby?
Say what, my man?
I kind of got to run. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. Just last words here from Peter, and then Jose and I will close it up.
Last words. I'm psyched to, this is about community, and I'm psyched to hear about this Toronto thing, the AC thing, of course. Toronto's tough, but I'm going to try to make it. That sounds like fun. I've never been to Canada, Jim.
Well, Peter, you would have a place to stay if you decide to make the move.
I'm a huge fan of friggin' Canadian comedy. Music, not so much, but the comedy, second to none. Second to none. And that's coming from a Canadian, not a Canadian musician.
Also, before you go, Peter, Caden Allen, now 18 years old, a graduate, high school graduate, star golfer, in our chat as we speak, Peter.
And what did you say?
In our chat right now, Caden Allen.
Most important, all that stuff is great. Most important thing is what's inside. The attitude, the maturity, the calmness, the purpose, the focus, the understanding of who you are and who the world is and where you fit in with all of it. If you have that, you don't need anything else because the rest of it will just come to you. Shout out to Caden Allen. Hell yeah.
I love it, Pete. Thank you for rocking with us, my friend. Pete will be back in business with us next Tuesday as well. But we do have some exciting announcements. Okay,
right on. I got to go. All right.
Okay, be well, my man. We do have some exciting announcements. The one is a card playing announcement that we can't talk about here on the channel, but we will be telling you about here very shortly. Also, we are having a Saratoga celebration on Saturday, June 28th, right here on Pub Sports Radio. We'll be hammering horses all day. It's going to be very, very fun. We got some fun announcements coming up. We have Stacks play today, number 1, Encarnacion Strand RBI at plus 133, and then Cal Raleigh RBI at plus 115. Our guy Caden looking for MLB props. These are courtesy of Justin McKelvey. Then we have Billy Friedrich with Starlin Marte over 1.5 bases at plus 160. So let's pop these all in the chat. Gorky, the Traverse is taking place on our Woodbine Day. So when we are hanging out together, Gorky, at Woodbine, we'll watch the Traverse Stakes there together. So that will be our yeah. I couldn't figure out a different day. For Caden, who's looking for more action here, this is from Billy Friedrich. This is Starling Marte over 1.5 bases. He also likes Nolan Chenuel here as well over 1.5 bases at plus 135. I don't know if I'm going to be I got a wedding in Ottawa, and then we're going back to Vancouver. I don't know if I'm going to be at Saratoga, but this Saturday the 28th, in 2 weeks, we'll be doing a big show here, and we'll hammer the Saratoga card. There we go. Joe Yurkovich. We heard from Joe Yurkovich and Londo on Kansas City Royals +1.5. Nutflush says best part now. Kristen has 2 cappers to live with. She's lucky. She is very, very lucky. We have Dougie Wise. Well, the free bands play today is the Marlins +0.5 first 5. And the bonus play is the Cubs -103. The Just My 2 cents play today is the Tigers money line. We just went over all of our MLB action. So I just want to give a shout out to some of our cappers in the chat, what they are going to town with. And there's money to be made, and I've got bets to make. The spreadsheet play of the day from our Ron Crawford is the Cincinnati Reds. Shout out to our man, Ron Crawford. And we have Ron Crawford's best bet is on the Red Blacks. Ottawa Pick'em is his CFL play of the day. Let's just quickly go back to the CFL lines and see if it all.
By the way, congratulations on your hot start. I saw it was like 3-0, and I don't know how he ended up doing, but
4-0. We started out 4-0,
4-0.
6-2 week one,
Nice.
6-2 week one. So sort of what I predicted. Look, the Bombers +2.5 is absolutely nuts to me. I mean, it's just it couldn't be more nuts. It's just an overreaction. It's just a complete overreaction. I mean, it is the best bet on the board. It's just a huge overreaction of what happened in the Lions game, and I watched that whole Lions game. Then we have what I said. We didn't need to rush into, but I need to bet the Ticats right now. So that's moved 5 cents, and it's moved 5 cents back towards the Argos. So I'm going to bet the Argos and the Hamilton Ticats right now. Again, we don't have first halves up yet for any of these games, so these are just full games. But I know we're going to do our full breakdowns later in the show. But we have to smash these line moves on Mondays and Tuesdays. And the books were so afraid to put these lines out. They waited until Tuesday morning. That we crushed them in week one. We absolutely destroyed them in week one. So I'm moving on now. Right when the show ends, as soon as the show ends, I'm moving on the Argos -3. And I'm moving on the Ticats +3.5 at -115. Shout out to our guy, Zoe. Big Zoe, blessing our action. What a way to end the show. What a friend of the show. Our guy, Zoe, gifting 5 Pub Sports Radio memberships. Thank you so much, Zoe, for all that you do for us. Jose Sierra, Mike DeVoe, Boss Up, Chopper, Jared T, and Zay getting the gifts. Thank you, Zoe. It means so much to us, my friend. It means so much to us. Truth Teller on Oklahoma City on the first half and quarter. We talked about this quite a lot on Medicaid Monday yesterday. I am going to make if I'm right in game 3, I won't bet in game 4, but I think the Pacers win one of these 2 basketball games. So I took the +5.5 and the money line. And if they lose in game 3, in game 4, I'm going to take the spread and the money line. And if they win in game 3, I tap the brakes and think of maybe the other side. We'll see how that bangs out. I'm excited, Jose. You want to review your action? I mean, we just did a few minutes ago, so no pressure to do that.
Sure, I'll run through it real quick. White Sox, first 5 +0.5. Cubs money line. Red Sox money line. Nationals first 5 money line. Cardinals money line. A's money line. And the Arizona Diamondbacks money line here. No totals for me. By the way, Jimmy, I told you a few weeks ago my record with money line totals. Now only down 3 units for the year betting money line. So we'll see how that number keeps changing here. Up 6 units on the year. Feeling good about ourselves.
Well, yeah.
Shout out, by the way, one more shout out. Thank you for the fucking horse from Saturday. I forget his name. Strategic Sovereignty. Yeah.
That's the easiest situation we're ever going to get.
Yeah, I put 2 units on it. I was pretty confident. It was great.
It's the easiest situation you're ever gonna get. Like for the last 3 days I was like, I should have bet more on it.
Same.
I had I didn't need the $50 exacta box to Baeza. I should have just put everything on Sovereignty. We don't need to go into it too much, but the idea that the journalism could run 3 races in 5 weeks. I mean, journalism might be better than Sovereignty. We don't know. We know that Bill Mott handled Sovereignty much better than McCarthy handled journalism.
Are you worried that the Triple Crown is fucked now?
No. What do you mean? Why is it fucked?
Because the Kentucky Derby race winner will just hold his horse out for the second one, and then
it's always been that way. There's always been the situation. It's just that it takes a 71-year-old trainer in Bill Mott to not worry about the peer pressure of running his horse 2 weeks later. What McCarthy should have done was run journalism in the Derby, run him in the Preakness just because Sovereignty wasn't in it, and then hold him out until the Traverse. That's what he should have done. Can I get a horse text next time? Absolutely, Spooner. But I don't.
I got lucky. I texted Jimmy first, and I texted him like 5 minutes before the race because I don't remember what got me thinking about it, but I just got lucky as fuck.
No, Jerry Davis, don't take the 3.5. Take the 3. So wait, it'll come. Just be patient. It'll come. But Sovereignty was it's just not going to get. We're just very, very fortunate. I couldn't believe my dad, who my whole life taught me to fade the horse that won the Derby and the Preakness. And for this situation, it was journalism. Even though journalism came second in the Derby, he was the only one running in all 3. But everybody saw journalism show the heart of a champion in the Preakness. Everybody fell in love with journalism in the Preakness. And even my dad fell for it. I was like, oh my God, that means everybody's going to fall for it. Sovereignty goes off at 5-2. Sovereignty should have been even money favorite.
Good. I saw him at 2-1.
We went off at 5-2.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's such easy money, and I congratulate. I collected the most amount of money I've ever collected from my local this week, so it was nice.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I don't think it'll be another thing about Bill Mott being so smart was that Sovereignty wants distance. And, the Preakness is the shortest of the 3 Triple Crown races. It really should have been something that I absolutely abused. And, but I'm I just broke my streak with Sovereignty on my Derby streak that I'd been, so if I can start getting a little more. Also, we are winning on these full race days, each and every one of them. So I'm starting to believe in it a little bit more than I had. But yes, Jerry Davis, you'll get the 3. You'll get the 3 on the Argos. It's coming any minute, so just keep an eye out for it. You'll get it. You'll get it for sure. And it could even be more in a little while because, again, the overreactions, we talk about it in NFL, same thing in CFL, same thing in college football, the overreactions from week 1 to week 2, we got to take advantage of it. We're so lucky. We're so lucky for them. Thank you guys so much. Truth Teller, thank you. Mr. Jerry Davis, JW, Mr. Belvedere, Big Zo, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Robert, Cherry, Gorky, all the support you give us, Gorky, game in and game out, show in and show out. Thank you so much. Spooner, thank you guys. Rye Cape, all of you guys. Chad Pickard, truly means a ton. Thank you guys. Andrew G in the house. Ron Crawford. Nut Flush Allen. We had Caden Allen. Cheshire Cat. Nasty Nate. Thank you guys so much. Truly means the world to for all your support. Jose, would you like to bless our action and lead us into the future?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun day today of action. A lot of action. Shout out to everyone that's watching today. Tune in tomorrow morning. Of course, we've got a loaded slate of action as well. And shout out to the Locker Room Talk podcast guys who believe will be live today as well. So shout out to them. Appreciate everyone watching. Let's go make some fucking money. We need it. Let's back up another good week here. And let's leche a los bookmakers.